Chapter 1568. The space was sealed, and the connection with the main body was cut off. This meant that this clone of his could no longer obtain power from the main body. In this world, his strength was suppressed, and there was no way for him to unleash his original strength. This made the Golden Cicada Emperor's expression sink. Without being able to unleash his full strength, he didn't have absolute confidence in dealing with this brat. However, even if he didn't have absolute confidence, the Golden Cicada Emperor wouldn't show it. He raised his aura, and this powerful aura enveloped Yang Hongwu. This was to threaten Yang Hongwu. However, his thinking was too simple. Was Yang Hongwu that easy to fool? The answer was no. Old thing, come and take my fist. Saying that, Yang Hongwu threw a punch at the Golden Cicada Emperor's clone. The killing fist of 10 directions surged with murderous intent. It was vast and mighty, like a torrential flood that couldn't be stopped. Brat, you're courting death. The Golden Cicada Emperor also threw a punch. This punch collided with Yang Hongwu's fist energy, and a powerful qi energy instantly exploded. Gong Lingfeng and the others were stunned. Yang Hongwu's strength was too strong. The Golden Cicada Emperor was, after all, a divine emperor expert. Even a divine emperor couldn't block his attack. Seeing the Golden Cicada Emperor being sent flying, Gong Lingfeng's heart was like dead ashes. Run! Gong Lingfeng carried Gong Liani and prepared to leave the goddess palace. After all, Yang Hongwu was still fighting with the Golden Cicada Emperor at this moment. He shouldn't be distracted. Therefore, this was the best time to escape. It was true that the Devil Monarch was powerful, but Gong Lingfeng knew very well that the Devil Monarch would not descend to this world. Although the treasure in this world was important to the Devil Monarch could not descend personally. If he could, it would be impossible. If he could, he wouldn't need their help. What happened? Gong Lingfeng wanted to leave the goddess palace, but when she tried to use the teleportation formation, she found that it was useless. It's useless. I've already sealed this space. Today, no one can escape. Yang Hongwu created a clone using the 1 Qi into 3 Pure Ones technique. The clone fought against the Golden Cicada Emperor, while the original body was nearby, watching Gong Lingfeng and Gong Liani with a smile. Yang Hongwu, let us go, and we will give you the antidote for Nangong Sini and the others. From now on, we are even. Gong Lingfeng saw that there was no way to escape, and his face darkened as he continued. Ha! Yang Hongwu laughed. At this time, you still dare to negotiate with me? What a joke. Don't you have the Demon King as your backer? Let's see if your so-called Demon King will come and save you. Nangong Sini and the others have been cursed by me. Do you not care about their lives? Gong Lingfeng's face darkened as she said coldly. Don't worry about us. Nangong Sini said. Master and the others have already fallen into the evil path. We can't let them go. Nangong Sini's words surprised Yang Hongwu. Falling into the evil path. This surprised Yang Hongwu. Last time, Nangong Sini almost died in the hands of Gong Lingfeng and the others, but she still pleaded for them. This time, Nangong Sini actually took the initiative to ask him to kill Gong Lingfeng and the others. How could Yang Hongwu be? How could he not be surprised? Shut up, Nangong Sini. If I had really fallen into the evil path, you would have died long ago. Why would I let you live until now? Gong Lingfeng was furious. Brat, don't you think it's too early to be happy? Suddenly, a person appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. It was the Golden Cicada Emperor. Yang Hongwu was slightly surprised. The Golden Cicada Emperor actually knew the doppelganger technique. He was just a clone. Puppetry technique. Yang Hongwu quickly found out that the Golden Cicada Emperor was actually using a puppet to fight against his clone. The Golden Cicada Emperor grabbed at Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu smiled. If this old man had launched a sneak attack, he might have caused some trouble for him. However, he actually spoke when he was attacking. Jingshen finger. Yang Hongwu shouted. He condensed his magic power and a huge finger appeared in the air. This finger instantly pierced the Golden Cicada Emperor's body. With a cracking sound, the Golden Cicada Divine Emperor's body was pierced through. What a terrifying finger technique. The Golden Cicada Emperor was originally very powerful. However, he never expected Yang Hongwu to be able to mobilize the power of the laws of this world. This finger technique contained the power of virtue of this world. After all, Yang Hongwu had saved this world before. Therefore, he possessed a huge amount of power of virtue. This power of virtue was actually useless to Yang Hongwu. However, after Yang Hongwu's cultivation had broken through to the Divine Lord realm, he had learned a secret technique. This secret technique had integrated the power of merit into the Jingxin finger and the demon exterminating finger. This made the finger technique even more lethal against demons and people from the outside world. You can actually mobilize the power of this world. You're the ruler of this world? Devouring furnace. Yang Hongwu ignored him and took out the devouring furnace again. Just like how he refined the Golden Toad King, he swallowed the body of the Golden Cicada Emperor's clone into the furnace and began refining it. The Golden Cicada Emperor was an expert of the Divine Emperor realm. His cultivation and strength were much stronger than the Golden Toad King's. The power contained in this incarnation was also very majestic. However, no matter how powerful it was insignificant in front of Yang Hongwu's devouring furnace. The devouring furnace could devour and refine everything. As long as Yang Hongwu's strength was enough, he could easily refine a macro world or even a great universe. All the girls were stunned. He was so powerful. He had been ambushed and defeated so easily. Even a peerless expert like the Golden Cicada Emperor was about to be refined. What realm had Yang Hongwu's cultivation reached? Terrifying, too terrifying. Gong Lingfeng swallowed her saliva. Yang Hongwu couldn't have reached the level of the Demon King, could he? No, absolutely not. Gong Lingfeng thought. However, she no longer had any intention of going against Yang Hongwu. What a joke. Going against Yang Hongwu again was simply courting death. Chapter 1569. After Yang Hongwu refined the Golden Cicada Emperor, he refined it into a pill, just like the Golden Toad King. Take these medicinal pellets. Yang Hongwu gave the medicinal pellets he refined to Nangong Sini and the other girls. This pill, Nangong Sini and Huang Yi weren't fools. They knew that this pill wasn't an ordinary pill. It contained a vast amount of energy. It's too precious. We can't take it. Huang Yi said, consume it. Your bodies are afflicted with the power of curses. This pill can dispel the power of curses within your bodies. Furthermore, it can bring your cultivation state to another level, allowing you to enter the state of a true god. Yang Hongwu said. Nangong Sini and the other girls looked at each other. Breaking through to the Tai true god realm, the temptation of this pill was too great. Who didn't want to break through? If it was in the past, they wouldn't even dare to think about it. But now, there was hope to break through to the Tai true god realm. One pill was enough. They trusted Yang Hongwu. Since Yang Hongwu said so, he would definitely do it. This pill was definitely real. Okay, take it here. I will protect you. As for Gong Lingfeng and Gong Liani, Yang Hongwu thought for a while and sighed. He said to Nangong Sini, I will destroy their cultivation and leave them to you. After saying that, Yang Hongwu was about to take action. Gong Lingfeng shouted, No, Yang Hongwu, you can't do this. You can't destroy my cultivation. You killed the Golden Cicada Emperor. You offended the Demon King. Do you know that? So what if it's the Demon King? I said that in this world, even if the Demon King comes, I won't be afraid. Yang Hongwu shook his head and smiled. What arrogance! Just as Yang Hongwu finished speaking, a tyrannical force tore through the void and shattered the array. It condensed into a huge head, which appeared in front of Yang Hongwu and the others. What a terrifying demonic aura! Yang Hongwu's face sank when the formation was broken. Although it didn't cause him much damage, it wasn't easy for him. Moreover, the opponent's strength was beyond his expectations. He could easily tear the space apart and tear apart the array he had set up. Such strength was too powerful, far beyond Yang Hongwu's expectations. Lord Demon King, Gong Lingfeng and Gong Liani saw the huge figure and immediately knelt down. The two of you have truly disappointed me. The Demon King looked at the two of them. Your Excellency, Demon King, it's because Yang Hongwu is too powerful. I don't know what kind of opportunity he obtained, but his strength has become extremely terrifying. The Golden Toad King and the Golden Cicada Emperor were both refined by him. Gong Lingfeng said. I know, I don't need you to tell me. That person's voice revealed a trace of dissatisfaction. Gong Lingfeng and Gong Liani's hearts trembled, and they didn't dare to speak anymore. That person turned around and looked at Yang Hongwu. Little guy, you're not bad. Who are you? Yang Hongwu's face turned serious. This guy's strength was so strong, and he contained a monstrous demonic aura. However, after entering the mortal continent, he wasn't affected by the laws of heaven and earth. The will of heaven didn't appear, and there was no so-called heaven's punishment. Yang Hongwu was shocked. He was shocked. The will of heaven was hidden. A light flashed in Yang Hongwu's mind. The opponent was too strong, and it wasn't something the will of heaven could stop. If the opponent was willing, he could directly annihilate this world. Thinking of this, Yang Hongwu's eyes widened. Great enemy. This was definitely a great enemy. Taking a deep breath, Yang Hongwu circulated his magic power and prepared to escape. Yes, this guy was too scary, too strong. He wasn't his opponent at all. Ah, little guy, don't worry. I won't attack you. However, there's something in your hand that belongs to me. I want to take it back. The Demon King said. What? Yang Hongwu was stunned. If they were to fight, Yang Hongwu knew that he wasn't his opponent. He could only escape. Even if he escaped, Yang Hongwu didn't have full confidence. The moment Yang Hongwu's voice fell, he felt a strong force sweep across his body. Then, an item instantly shot out from his storage space. Yang Hongwu was shocked, and his face was filled with fear. In front of him, he couldn't resist at all. His strength was too terrifying, too terrifying. He was definitely on the same level as the Holy Doctor of the Dragons, Li Longjin. He might even be an existence that surpassed Li Longjin. This is... Seeing the item that was taken away, Yang Hongwu's face changed. This treasure was the flag that he had obtained from the Dragon Emperor. It was that evil treasure. Yang Hongwu felt that this flag contained a terrifying power. He didn't have enough confidence to control it, so he sealed this flag. The flag was sealed and placed in his storage space. But he didn't expect that the so-called Demon King in front of him was so terrifying that he could directly take this flag out of his storage space. Wasn't this kind of strength a little too terrifying? If he wanted to take something from someone else, wouldn't it be easy? Thinking of this, Yang Hongwu suddenly felt a chill down his spine. Terrifying, too terrifying. Before this person, there was no secret to speak of. Yang Hongwu felt that before this person, he was like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. He felt so powerless. After the flag landed in the Demon King's hand, it erupted with a terrifying light, and an illusory figure burst out from the flag. Yang Hongwu could sense that this power was precisely the evil power that Yang Hongwu had sensed earlier. Wang Yuan, you've gone too far, said that person. My good little brother, you're finally willing to come out. I've been looking for you for several epochs, said the Demon King as he looked at the illusory figure formed by the flag. Two terrifying auras. One was a tyrannical, demonic aura, and the other was a boundless, evil aura. The two of them were actually brothers. Yang Hongwu and everyone else were stunned. However, before this tyrannical power, no one could muster the slightest strength to resist. Looks like we're going to have a fight. Wang Li, my good little brother, this time, I've come to save you, said the Demon King with a sigh. He looked at Wang Li and said, if you want to make a move against him, only death awaits you. You don't need to concern yourself with my matters. Wang Li coldly snorted and threw out a punch. This punch was ordinary, as if it was thrown by an ordinary farmer. It was so ordinary that it didn't even contain any power. Sigh. Wang Yuan sighed and threw out a punch. The two fists collided, but there wasn't a powerful impact like Yang Hongwu and the others had imagined. There wasn't even a trace of energy leaking out. Wang Yuan's body didn't move at all, but Wang Li was sent flying. Chapter 1570. However, Yang Hongwu also knew that this was actually very dangerous. The two of them seemed to be fighting like ordinary people, but in fact, the two of them had control over their energy to a very terrifying degree. Not a single trace of energy leaked out. Reaching such a degree was the most terrifying thing. Yang Hongwu knew that he would not be their opponent if they used the same amount of energy. To be able to control the energy to such an extent that not a single bit of it leaked out during the battle, it was simply too terrifying. Godly emperors couldn't do such a thing. They had to have surpassed the godly emperor layer or even the imperial emperor layer. After a few rounds, Wang Li was sent flying. "You haven't made much progress," Wang Yuan said. "My good brother, you should come with me." "Wang Yuan, you made great progress." Wang Li's face darkened. He said coldly, "I admit that I'm not your opponent. However, it's impossible for you to catch me. Wang Li, will not admit defeat." Then, Wang Li turned into a ray of light and rushed towards Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu's face changed. He could not move at all. The gap between them was too big. He knew that Wang Li wanted to harm him, but he could not resist. "Wang Li, don't you dare." Wang Yuan's face changed. "Do you know who he is?" "I'm here because I don't want you to lay your hands on him. You'll die if you attack him." "Wang Yuan, don't try to trick me. His body is very strong. He's the most talented person I've ever seen. I can kill you once I possess his body." Then, Wang Li entered Yang Hongwu's forehead and entered his sea of consciousness. He wanted to possess Yang Hongwu's body. Wang Yuan knew that he could not change Wang Li's mind. He turned into a ray of light and flew towards Yang Hongwu. He also entered Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. Yang Hongwu's heart sank. He was furious. These two bastards, relying on their strength, did not put Yang Hongwu in their eyes. Now, they even wanted to use his sea of consciousness as a battlefield. How could Yang Hongwu not be angry? However, Yang Hongwu knew that if these two people wanted to deal with him outside, then he would have no chance of survival. Now, in the sea of consciousness, he still had a chance. "Kid, hand over your body," Wang Li said. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes and looked at Wang Li coldly. "If you want to seize my body, you need to have the strength to do so. Don't worry, little brother. I won't let him succeed." "Wang Yuan, you want to stop me? This is a dream, you know? Could it be that you've forgotten what my most powerful technique is?" Wang Li said, "Furthermore, the power of your incarnation is not enough. You can't stop me. You seem to have forgotten that this is my territory. How dare you be so arrogant? Brat, let me deal with Wang Yuan first, then I'll deal with you." After saying that, Wang Li turned into a giant beast and pounced towards Wang Yuan with an evil aura. Yang Hongwu saw that this guy did not put him in his eyes at all and was even more annoyed. How dare he be so arrogant in his sea of consciousness? He really thought that he was a pushover. The creation Shi. Yang Hongwu thought of something. Only the creation Shi could deal with them. If the creation Shi could not deal with them, then he was afraid that he would have no way to deal with them and could only wait for death. Fight to the death. Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a cold light. Yang Hongwu took out all his trump cards. The Creation Scroll, Destruction Heaven Palace, Dragon Gate, Dragon Transformation Pagoda, Clear Sky Pagoda, etc. He took out all the treasures. He wanted to set up a powerful formation to refine the divine souls of these two people. "Nini, brother, these two people are so strong." Nini's consciousness appeared beside Yang Hongwu and said, "I'm going to use the power of the creation's sacred tree to deal with them." Yang Hongwu said, "Brother, are you confident? These two people are too strong. I feel that they can destroy me with just a thought." Nini was terrified. Their aura is almost comparable to grandfather's. Hearing Nini's words, Yang Hongwu was also shocked. Nini's grandfather's original strength seemed to be very strong. These two people were at least in the Emperor realm. It seemed that Nini's grandfather was also very strong, worthy of the longevity ancient tree. At this time, the two of them were already fighting in Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. However, it was fortunate that the two of them controlled themselves and didn't let the energy dissipate. Otherwise, under the impact of this overbearing power, Yang Hongwu would also be injured. Yang Hongwu had to admit that the two of them were indeed strong. If he were to devour and refine these two people, his strength should be able to rise to another level. Perhaps he could reach the peak of the Divine Emperor realm, or even the half-step Divine Emperor realm. Yang Hongwu no longer paid attention to the two of them and let them fight. He focused on setting up the formation. In his sea of consciousness, Yang Hongwu set up the formation at a much faster speed. However, this was not a simple formation. This formation was Yang Hongwu's most powerful formation. It could only be set up in his sea of consciousness. If it was in the outside world, he would definitely not be able to do it. Time passed quickly. Yang Hongwu finally finished setting up the formation. This formation was driven by the creation chi, combined with the creation scroll and other powerful supreme treasures, integrated with the karmic fire of the red lotus and the devouring furnace. This formation possessed an unparalleled devouring power. If an ordinary person entered this formation, he would be instantly devoured and refined without any resistance. Yang Hongwu was confident that he could defeat an Emperor Realm cultivator. Although the two of them were strong, they were only spiritual souls and did not have a physical body. Therefore, Yang Hongwu was still confident. Creation devouring formation, activate. Yang Hongwu roared, and the formation was immediately activated, bursting with a powerful light. Formation, it's a formation. The two of them who were fighting changed their expressions, especially Wang Li. At this moment, he had gained the upper hand. Although Wang Yuan was strong, he was only an incarnation. After entering Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness, his connection with the original body was cut off. Therefore, Wang Li was able to gain the upper hand. Although Wang Li's strength was not as strong as Wang Yuan's, Wang Li's spiritual power was still stronger than Wang Yuan's incarnation. If this continued, Wang Li would be able to defeat Wang Yuan in less than an hour. He might even be able to devour the power of the soul of Wang Yuan's clone to strengthen himself. Chapter 1571. However, they were just shocked. However, Yang Hongwu was just a Sir God after all. How could they take him seriously? In their view, a Divine Lord Realm martial artist was worse than an ant. Wanting to kill a Divine Lord Realm martial artist was too easy. Something's wrong. When the formation started to operate, their faces changed as they felt a strong pressure and a terrifying devouring power. They felt that they were being suppressed. How is this possible? The aura of creation. This is the aura of creation. Wang Yuan shouted. Impossible. He's just a Sir God. How can he have the power of creation? Wang Li shouted in disbelief. I've said that I'm here to save you. Wang Yuan said. So what if he has the power of creation? Wang Li said coldly. He's too weak. He's just a Sir God. I can destroy this formation with a single punch. Initially, I wanted to seize his body, but now I have no choice but to do it for real. It's useless. Wang Yuan shook his head. This is a supreme and mysterious formation. It's not that simple. Wang Yuan's eyesight was much better than Wang Li's. This was the difference between them. I don't believe it. Open. Wang Li's majestic dermic powers began to circulate as he threw out a punch. This punch landed heavily on the array formation. It was a loud bang. It was as if the heaven and earth were about to collapse. However, what happened next shocked Wang Li. The formation did not change at all, let alone being destroyed. How is this possible? How is this possible? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Wang Li let out a furious roar. His entire body was filled with a terrifying, evil aura. He turned into an evil giant beast and pounced towards Yang Hongwu. His powerful aura was overbearing. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. This was indeed terrifying. It was too powerful and overbearing. It was definitely not something that an ordinary person could resist. Even a divine emperor expert would die without a burial place under such terrifying power. However, this was Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. Moreover, the formation that Yang Hongwu had set up was extremely powerful. It was the supreme creation chi. Bang! After a loud bang, the formation did not change at all. It did not even shake. Yang Hongwu was relieved. In this sea of consciousness, Yang Hongwu could mobilize a vast amount of power. Moreover, he could mobilize the power of this world. because Yang Hongwu was the savior of this world. He had countless merit power. Moreover, the will of the heavenly Tao did not want these two powerful existences to be in the common people's continent. Therefore, when Yang Hongwu wanted to mobilize the power of the heavens and earth, the will of the heavenly Tao of the common people's continent agreed without hesitation. Although the will of the heavenly way of this world had not truly given birth to its own intelligence, it still had some instincts. It's useless. This formation is the devouring formation of fortune. No matter how powerful you are, you cannot destroy this formation. If this was outside, I would not be able to set up this formation. However, this is my sea of consciousness. I am a master of this sea of consciousness. Moreover, I can mobilize the power of the heavens and earth in this world. You are a great threat to this world. Therefore, in order to destroy you, I can mobilize the power of this world without restraint. You will all be refined and devoured by me. Yang Hongwu snorted. The devouring formation of fortune changed. A giant devouring beast appeared. This devouring beast was like a giant beast from the ancient Hongmeng universe. It could devour everything. This is an ancient devouring beast. How is this possible? Rumor has it that this is a terrifying giant beast from the beginning of the Hongmeng universe. Wang Yuan's eyes widened when he saw the giant beast. He knew that he was in trouble this time. Yang Hongwu, I'm not here to cause trouble for you this time. I am here to take Wang Li away. Wang Yuan said, Do you want me to let you go? Yang Hongwu said, Impossible. I will not let you go. If you want to die, you will die too. What a joke. These two were brothers. How could Yang Hongwu let him go? Moreover, this guy was the Demon King. He was extremely powerful. Yang Hongwu had a premonition that this guy was his enemy. This guy would cause him great trouble in the future. Therefore, Wang Yuan would not let him go. Yang Hongwu felt a familiar aura from Wang Yuan. After a flash of inspiration, Yang Hongwu finally remembered that it was the Zetian, Wang Yuan and Wang Li. These two people seemed to be related to Zetian. Wasn't the demonic aura on these two people similar to the terrifying aura on Zetian? Therefore, these two people should be related to Zetian. Zetian was just a reincarnation. However, Yang Hongwu guessed that the real Zetian was probably a very powerful demon. He might even be more terrifying than the Demon King Wang Yuan in front of him. Zetian had always been his biggest enemy. Although Zetian was suppressed by Yang Hongwu time and time again, that guy was like a cockroach that could not be killed. There was no way to completely kill him. They were destined enemies. Yang Hongwu finally understood that Zetian was his destined enemy. Perhaps Zetian was also his enemy in his previous life. Yang Hongwu knew that there was a very overbearing and terrifying power sealed in his body. Even though Yang Hongwu had broken through to the monarch god realm, he still could not find that powerful and overbearing power, let alone unseal it. At first, Yang Hongwu thought that he was the reincarnation of the demonic dragon. Later, Yang Hongwu found that the power in his body, the sealed power, was far more powerful than the demonic dragon. The demonic dragon was just a great emperor. Perhaps it had surpassed the great emperor realm. However, he had already surpassed the great emperor realm and reached the monarch god realm. Even the divine emperor and the emperor realm were not unreachable. Yang Hongwu had the opportunity to break through the bottleneck and become an expert in the divine emperor realm or even an emperor realm. As long as he had enough energy, Yang Hongwu felt that he could break through to that level. Chapter 1572. Ha! Yang Hongwu laughed and said, I'm so scared. Although he said that, Yang Hongwu's expression showed no signs of fear. Seeing Yang Hongwu's expression, how could Wang Yuan not know that Yang Hongwu was mocking him? I've said that all of you will die. Do you really think that I don't know what you're thinking? Yang Hongwu snorted and said, Demon King, you must have felt the supreme power of the demonic Tao in my body, right? Yang Hongwu knew that Wang Yuan was a demon, and he had the powerful demon-devouring mark on his body. Although the demon-devouring mark had changed, its essence had not changed. It was the origin of the demon. Yang Hongwu was very clear about this. Moreover, The aura of these two people was related to Zetian. Who was Zetian? She was his sworn enemy, his destined enemy. To Yang Hongwu, anyone who was related to Zetian was an enemy. Anyone who was related to Zetian deserved to be killed. Yang Hongwu did not hesitate. He would not have any thoughts of changing his mind. You're courting death, do you know that? Demon King Wang Yuan said coldly, My strength is not something that you can resist. I admit that you have a powerful and domineering power in your body, but you can't use it. Even if it explodes, you can't control it. I want to kill you. You can't stop me. You're just a clone. You don't have to worry about these things. Yang Hongwu chuckled and grabbed at Wang Yuan. At this moment, Wang Yuan was suppressed by the formation. He could not use his strength at all. Devouring furnace, refined for me, Yang Hongwu roared. One had to know that Yang Hongwu had the Dragon Soul's heaven-devouring secret art and the devil-devouring rune. Now, he had the devouring furnace and the power of fortune from the fortune divine tree. It was still possible for him to refine the divine soul of a supreme expert's incarnation in his sea of consciousness. At that moment, Wang Yuan felt it. It was a terrifying, devouring power. He had no way of resisting this terrifying, devouring power. Damn it, kid, you're courting death. You dare to devour me? You ant. How dare you devour my incarnation? My original body won't let you off. Wang Yuan shouted. Yang Hongwu ignored him and continued refining. This incarnation of Wang Yuan's primordial spirit was refined by Yang Hongwu bit by bit, turning into pure energy. As for Yang Hongwu's cultivation, it was also constantly increasing. Wang Li looked on from the side with a gloomy face. He was terrified. Although Wang Yuan was only an incarnation of the primordial spirit, it was not that easy to refine. One had to know that Wang Yuan had just fought with him outside, and he was defeated. But now, he was powerless in front of Yang Hongwu and was about to be completely refined. How could he not be terrified? He wanted to escape, but with his current cultivation, he did not have the strength to fight back. Now, he was filled with regret. He regretted finding trouble with Yang Hongwu and entering his sea of consciousness. He knew that if he did not enter Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness, he would not be suppressed by the formation. No matter how strong Yang Hongwu's mental strength and spiritual soul were, his physical body, cultivation realm, and spiritual power were not on the same level. Damn it! Damn it! Wang Li was filled with hatred. His hatred for Wang Yuan was even greater than Yang Hongwu's. If not for Wang Yuan, he would not have taken action. He would have taken action at the best time, when Yang Hongwu was at his weakest. How could he have been forced to take action against Yang Hongwu at this time? He had also given Yang Hongwu the opportunity to seal and suppress him. He might even be refined by Yang Hongwu, just like Wang Yuan. Yang Hongwu did not know what Wang Li was thinking. Even if he knew, he would not have cared. At this moment, his cultivation had begun to increase. Third level divine monarch realm. After refining the power of Wang Yuan's incarnation of the primordial spirit, Yang Hongwu's cultivation had increased tremendously. He had reached the third level of the divine monarch realm. Yang Hongwu opened his eyes, and a beam of light shot out. He is indeed powerful. He is indeed a supreme expert. Just the power of the incarnation of the divine soul has increased my cultivation by so much. I have reached the third level of the divine monarch realm. This is really shocking, Yang Hongwu murmured. However, he was thinking in his heart that the strength of this guy's original body was probably very shocking. Just the incarnation of the divine soul was already so terrifying. If it was his original body, wouldn't it be even more shocking? To be honest, Yang Hongwu was still a little worried. If Wang Yuan's original body really wanted to break open this side of the world and even destroy this side of the world to deal with him, it would be a big joke. Yang Hongwu did not have the confidence to resist. However, after thinking about it, Yang Hongwu felt relieved. If his guess was correct, this great world should be a part of the inner world of the common life Great Seal. Given Wang Yuan's tyrannical strength, if he knew that this was the inner world of the common life Great Seal, he would definitely obtain the common life Great Seal at all costs. Perhaps Wang Yuan also knew that this was the inner world of the common life seal. However, with Wang Yuan's strength, there was no way he could refine the common life seal. In this way, although Wang Yuan was powerful, there was no way he could enter this side of the world. Therefore, he could only enter with his incarnation. However, his strength was restricted. After entering this side of the world, there was no way he could deal with Jian Wushuang. As for whether Wang Yuan would continue to send his incarnation into this side of the world to deal with Jian Wushuang in the future, Yang Hongwu did not know. Yang Hongwu's cultivation had broken through, and he was in a good mood. However, Wang Li was different. At this moment, Wang Li could be said to be suffering. He was in a bad mood. He was very conflicted and sad. Yang Hongwu. Wang Li saw that Yang Hongwu had not taken action and thought that he still had a chance. He shouted, "How about we talk?" Chapter 1573. Let's make a deal. Wang Li said, "What kind of deal?" Yang Hongwu wanted to see what this guy wanted to do, so he looked at him with interest. Yang Hongwu was not in a hurry to refine this guy. He had just swallowed and refined Wang Yuan, so he needed some time to stabilize his cultivation realm. Although Yang Hongwu's body was strong, his foundation was too strong. His foundation was solid, but his breakthrough was too fast. Therefore, it would take some time to stabilize his cultivation. If you let me go, I will give you countless resources and a cultivation technique of the creation realm. Wang Li said, "Haha, cultivation technique, resources?" When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was amused. "I don't care about cultivation techniques. No matter how powerful or high-level cultivation technique is, if it doesn't suit me, it's useless. As for resources, do you think I can't find them myself? Do you know what a creation-level cultivation technique is?" Wang Li was not angry when he heard Yang Hongwu's answer. He knew that Yang Hongwu was strong, but in fact his vision was too shallow. After all, his cultivation was only in the monarch god realm, and he was far from reaching the higher levels. This time, therefore, it was normal that he did not know how powerful a cultivation technique of the creation realm was. "Oh, tell me, what is a cultivation technique of the creation realm?" Yang Hongwu was happy. This guy's expression made Yang Hongwu curious. Creation is to seize the creation of heaven and earth. A cultivation technique of the creation realm can break the shackles and allow people to comprehend the creation. A powerful cultivation technique can allow you to reach the peak. You said that the most suitable cultivation technique for you is the best, but if the cultivation technique is suitable for you, it can only reach a small level, for example, the monarch god realm. However, a cultivation technique of the creation realm is different. There is no such thing as suitability for a cultivation technique of the creation realm. It depends on whether you can comprehend it or not. A real cultivation technique of the creation realm, in fact, depends on one's own comprehension. When a person cultivates a cultivation technique of the creation realm, he or she will have a different comprehension and will comprehend a different cultivation technique that belongs to oneself. Wang Li said. Yang Hongwu was very surprised as Wang Li's words became more and more mysterious. However, he was really curious about this so-called creation technique. However, no matter what, Yang Hongwu would definitely not let him go. It seems that the creation technique is really powerful. However, if you have the creation technique, would you be so weak? Yang Hongwu asked. When Wang Li heard this, he almost died from anger. "I'm weak. You call this weak?" He was the supreme heretic lord, and his strength had long since surpassed that of the emperor. If he had been at his peak, he would have been able to annihilate a great world with a single thought. But now his strength had long since waned. He was not even a 10,000th of his peak. Wang Li suppressed the anger in his heart and looked at Yang Hongwu. "Do you know about the good fortune heavenly gate?" That good fortune cultivation method came from the good fortune heavenly gate. When Yang Hongwu heard this, his interest was piqued. Every item that came out of the fortune heavenly gate was incomparably powerful. For example, divine talismans, scrolls of fortune, and so on. Anything that came out of the fortune heavenly gate was divine. Every item that came out of the good fortune heavenly gate had a powerful ability. As long as one obtained any one of them, they would become an unparalleled expert. There was no doubt about this. Even if one was a trash, if one obtained the items that came out of the good fortune heavenly gate, one would become an unparalleled genius and an unparalleled expert. Of course, the premise was that one could comprehend something from those treasures after obtaining them. If one did not have such an opportunity, it would be useless. Yang Hongwu had a deep understanding of this. The creation technique had the word creation in it, so it was normal that it was related to the good fortune heavenly gate. Of course, until now, Yang Hongwu had not heard of any cultivation technique that came out of the good fortune heavenly gate. No, the creation technique did not come out of the good fortune heavenly gate, Wang Li said. The good fortune heavenly gate is a powerful treasure, and the creation technique was born together with the good fortune heavenly gate. In the great thousand universes, there are 3 creation techniques, and these 3 techniques have long disappeared into the void. Once they enter the endless void, no one will know the location of these 3 destiny-level techniques. Then why did you say that you want to exchange with me? Yang Hongwu frowned when he heard this. I don't have the real creation technique, but I have an incomplete version of it, Wang Li said. Wang Li said, as long as you let me go, I can give you countless resources, enough for you to break through to the Imperial Emperor realm, as well as that remnant piece of the creation cultivation technique. Remnant piece? You want to use a remnant piece of the creation cultivation technique to deal with me? Do you think I'm a beggar? Yang Hongwu sneered. If it was the complete creation technique, I might have agreed, but a mere incomplete version is not enough to move me. As for the resources you mentioned, it's enough for me to break through the bottleneck of the divine Emperor realm. Do you really have that many resources to break through to the Emperor realm? Don't think I'm a fool. You should have seen it just now. I swallowed one of your brother Wang Yuan's primordial spirit avatars, and my cultivation base only broke through a little. How many resources do you think I need to break through to the Emperor realm? Wang Li was taken aback when he heard this. Yes, this kid's foundation was too strong, too terrifying. If it was any other divine Emperor realm martial artist, swallowing and refining a little of Wang Yuan's power would be enough to make him explode. How much had Yang Hongwu swallowed and refined? An entire avatar, but nothing had happened. He was well aware of how terrifying and powerful Wang Yuan's incarnation was. If all of this energy was released, this world would collapse, but he had withstood it easily. Moreover, it seemed that it was far from enough for him to break through again. The art of fortune isn't as simple as you think. Even if it's only a fragment, it's still extremely terrifying. I only managed to reach my current level because I comprehended a fragment of the art of fortune. Wang Li didn't give up. After all, nobody wanted to die. Chapter 1574. Wang Li was furious after hearing Yang Hongwu's rejection. He wanted to say that they would die together, but in reality, he knew that it was impossible because he didn't have the strength to resist at the moment. If he could resist, then they would both die together. If they died, would he have to go through so much trouble? It was precisely because he didn't have the slightest ability to resist and didn't even have the slightest possibility of perishing together with him. Therefore, he had to be so humble and even hand over the remnant of the creation cultivation technique. Wang Li took a deep breath. Seeing that Yang Hongwu was about to make a move, he quickly said, "You don't need the creation technique, but what about the people around you? Don't you need it for the people around you? Your talent is very strong, your aptitude is very good, and you also have a powerful cultivation technique. I don't deny this point, but what about the people around you? As far as I know, you're not just a woman, right? Although you don't need the creation technique, you have so many women. Your family also needs it." Wang Li's words made Yang Hongwu stop. Indeed, his women needed a good technique. Yang Hongwu had to admit this. Although Yu Ji and the others were very talented, and because of their dual cultivation with him, their cultivation would continue to improve. In addition, their talent wasn't bad, so their cultivation speed was much faster than some geniuses. As long as his strength increased quickly, their strength would also increase quickly. It would be slow. However, it was still too slow for Yang Hongwu. In the eyes of others, their cultivation speed might be very shocking, but in Yang Hongwu's eyes, it was still far from enough. Not bad, you've moved me, Yang Hongwu said, but why should I believe you? After all, you are Wang Li. How can anyone believe your words? Yang Hongwu certainly wouldn't agree so easily. My life is now in your hands. I think that's enough, right? Wang Li said, as long as you let me go, you can get countless cultivation resources and a powerful creation technique. It's impossible to let you go now. I need to get the cultivation method first, then I will let you go. Yang Hongwu said, You. Wang Li still wanted to scheme, but Yang Hongwu was too vigilant and didn't buy it. Wang Li couldn't do anything about it. Of course, he already knew that the possibility of scheming against Yang Hongwu was very small. He was just giving a try. How can I trust you? Wang Li asked. Do you have any other choice? Yang Hongwu said faintly, if you don't want to die, then hand over the thing. After you get it, I will naturally let you go. That's impossible. What if you go back on your word after getting the item? Wouldn't all my efforts be for nothing? Wang Li said. Of course, Wang Li wasn't that stupid. If he gave up the treasure, then not only would he lose the treasure, he would also lose his life. This was not what Wang Li wanted. What he cared about the most now was his own safety. As long as he was still alive, then everything would be easy. I'm not that kind of person. I, Yang Hongwu, always keep my word. Yang Hongwu valued Wang Li, so you can rest assured. Sign the soul blood oath. Wang Li said, as long as you sign the soul blood oath with me, I will immediately give you the creation technique. Okay. Yang Hongwu heard and nodded. He also knew that this was the best way. However, Yang Hongwu's mouth curved into a smile. A contract, a soul blood oath. Such a blood oath contract was very intimidating to cultivators. This soul blood oath didn't rely on the heavenly Tao, but on the great Tao. It was carried out by the great Tao. If it was the heavenly Tao, Yang Hongwu wouldn't be worried at all. Even if he violated the soul blood oath, Yang Hongwu would be fine. He would only have to face the heavenly punishment. However, for Yang Hongwu, the heavenly punishment was just a supplement, a spiritual medicine to improve his cultivation. Forget it. However, a soul blood oath was different. This kind of soul blood oath had the power of the great Tao and was restricted by the great Tao. Once violated, one would be struck by the great Tao lightning tribulation. This was countless times more powerful and terrifying than an ordinary heavenly punishment. Soul blood oath of the great Tao, condense for me, Yang Hongwu shouted. The two separated a trace of their soul and blood essence and merged it into the soul blood oath. At this moment, Yang Hongwu felt an inexplicable connection with Wang Li. As long as either side violated the soul blood oath, they would be punished by the great Tao. As such, Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. After all, with the soul blood oath of the great Tao, even the peak emperor wouldn't dare to violate it. The great Tao lightning tribulation was too terrifying. Now that the soul blood oath has been signed, where's the thing I need? Yang Hongwu asked. Evil Monarch Hall. It's in the Evil Monarch Hall. Wang Li said. Evil Monarch Hall? I've never heard of the Evil Monarch Hall. How can I find it? Yang Hongwu asked. The Evil Monarch Hall is where I cultivate. It's my residence. Wang Li said. Hearing this, Yang Hongwu felt that it wasn't too reliable. How could such a powerful cultivation technique be placed so casually? Furthermore, it was placed in his palace? This didn't make sense. What if something happened to Wang Li, or if someone broke into the Evil Monarch Hall and took away the fortune? Wouldn't it be a pity if the cultivation technique was taken away? Any sensible person wouldn't place such a treasure at home. They would either carry it with them or hide it in a very special place where outsiders couldn't find it. As for the Evil Monarch Hall, it seemed safe, but it was filled with danger. Of course, Yang Hongwu still admired Wang Li. He actually dared to hide such a treasure at home and not carry it with him. Where is the Evil Monarch Hall? Yang Hongwu asked. In the Dark Spirit Continent. Wang Li said. Dark Spirit Continent. Yang Hongwu frowned. Where is that? I've never heard of the Dark Spirit Continent in this great world. The Dark Spirit Continent isn't in this great world. Wang Li said. Yang Hongwu frowned. You mean to say that if I want to obtain the fortune cultivation technique, I have to leave this great world and go to the dark spirit continent? That's right, Wang Li said. Chapter 1575. This is no longer a matter of me going back on my word, but your problem. Yang Hongwu looked at him coldly and said, Your so-called cultivation method of creation is not with me, but in your world. What you mean is that you want me to leave this side of the world and go to your world, which is the so-called evil spirit continent? How is that possible? You have already signed a contract and made a blood-soul oath. If you violate it, you will not be able to bear the consequences. Wang Li looked at Yang Hongwu and said, In fact, this was also part of Wang Li's plan. He did have the remnant of the cultivation method of creation, and he had abundant resources. After all, he was a supreme expert. However, all of these were not in this world. After all, this was a special macro world. If he was at his peak, he would not be able to enter this world. Now, his strength was not at its peak, and he had been schemed against. That was why he appeared in this world. However, this was also why he was very helpless. Before his cultivation had fully recovered, he didn't even dare to leave this world in order to avoid his enemies. Moreover, he had a premonition that his opportunity was in this world. When he saw Yang Hongwu, he knew that this was his opportunity. Possession and rebirth. This was his idea. Yang Hongwu's body and talent were too powerful. More importantly, there was a powerful force in his body. If this powerful force was released, even Wang Li, who was at his peak, would be frightened. Therefore, he wanted to pay a huge price to possess Yang Hongwu. All along, his idea of possessing Yang Hongwu had not changed, even when he was in a desperate situation and was about to be killed by Yang Hongwu. At that time, although he regretted it, the idea of possessing Yang Hongwu's body had never disappeared. As long as there was a chance, he would never let go of the chance to possess Yang Hongwu. Are you threatening me? Yang Hongwu laughed and said, So what if we made a blood-soul oath? Now that you haven't given me the remnant of the cultivation method of creation, it means that we can't reach an agreement. Therefore, I can kill you. You? Wang Li's face sank when he saw Yang Hongwu's terrifying murderous intent. Wang Li was afraid that Yang Hongwu would dare to attack him. He was definitely a ruthless person. Aren't you afraid of being killed by the Great Tao? Your strength is not enough to contend with the Great Path. Even I couldn't do it back then, and you dare to go against it? I can try. You should know that when I was still in the Great Emperor realm, I had already tried the thunder catastrophe of the Great Path. There's no harm in trying again. Moreover, if I want to increase my cultivation, I need to consume a huge amount of energy. This energy is not a small amount. Perhaps the thunder catastrophe of the Great Path can be used. I might even be able to reach the realm of Emperor in a single bound, Yang Hongwu said with a laugh. Hearing this, Wang Li was shocked and angry. Looking at Yang Hongwu's appearance, it didn't seem like he was lying. Moreover, there was a terrifying and incomparably powerful force in his body. Perhaps it could really withstand the thunder catastrophe of the Great Path. If that was the case, it would be unwise for Wang Li to offend him. Of course, although Wang Li had his doubts, the degree of credibility was still not high. After all, it was the power of the Great Path. The Great Path was a terrifying existence. For those weak people, the heavenly path was very terrifying. The Great Path that far surpassed the heavenly path was the true master of the universe. Unless one's strength was strong enough to break the shackles of the Great Path, otherwise, it was impossible to resist. It was too difficult to reach the level of the Great Path. Wang Li was scared. He had to admit that he was really scared. You dare to take the risk? Do I not dare? Yang Hongwu looked at Wang Li contemptuously and said, In this world, there is nothing that I, Yang Hongwu, do not dare to do. There is no cultivation method of creation. Today you will die. Yang Hongwu said. He opened his 5 fingers and grabbed towards Wang Li. If Yang Hongwu grabbed him, Wang Li would definitely die. After all, Wang Li did not have any power to resist. They were still in Yang Hongwu's sea of consciousness. Wang Li was still suppressed by the formation. Here, Yang Hongwu was an invincible existence. Someone was his opponent. Hold on, I will give it to you. Wang Li shouted. Where is it? Yang Hongwu stopped and said coldly, "You have to release a part of my power first. Otherwise, I will not be able to take out the cultivation method of creation." Wang Li said, "Don't play any tricks. This is my sea of consciousness. I have already begun to integrate it with my inner world. Once my inner world is integrated into this sea of consciousness, a real universe will be born." Yang Hongwu said, "I think you know what this means." "Impossible." Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Wang Li was stunned again. It was not strange for an inner world to have an inner world. At their level, it was normal to have an inner world. However, Yang Hongwu wanted to integrate his inner world with his sea of consciousness. This was incredible. In fact, this was equivalent to the sea of consciousness becoming concrete and evolving into a world, a universe. This was very terrifying. In the thousands of universes in the Great Thousand Worlds, he had only heard of one person who had succeeded. As for the other experts who had tried, they had undoubtedly failed. The person who had succeeded was the legendary person. It was said that he had obtained the inheritance of the creation heavenly gate and obtained this incomparably powerful cultivation method. However, this was only a rumor. No one knew for sure. After all, no one had seen that person. Nothing is impossible. Yang Hongwu waved his hand and released a part of Wang Li's seal, allowing Wang Li to mobilize a part of his power. Wang Li did not say much. He circulated his spiritual power and was about to open the different space. The moment Wang Li opened the different space, a familiar aura appeared. Yang Hongwu's face darkened. This was not good. Someone from the outside world had come. "Hurry up, I don't have so much time to waste." Yang Hongwu had a bad premonition. The person from the outside world seemed to be related to Wang Yuan and Wang Li. Could it be that Wang Yuan had sent another incarnation to investigate the matter of his original incarnation's death? If that was the case, it would be troublesome. However, when Yang Hongwu left the sea of consciousness and regained consciousness, his face darkened. Chapter 1576. Could it be that the laws of the common people's continent had collapsed? That's why these experts could descend at will? Yang Hongwu frowned. If that's the case, then it's going to be troublesome. At this critical moment, Yang Hongwu didn't think too much. He immediately teleported away with Nangong, Sini, and the others. These guys were too strong. If there was only one of them, Yang Hongwu wouldn't be afraid. But now, there were more than one of them. There were even two divine emperors. How could he dare to stay here? Although he wasn't afraid of them, there was still Nangong, Sini, Huang, Yi, and the others. They were too weak. If they were to fight against these people, they would only be courting death. "Are you still Yang Hongwu?" Nangong Sini looked at Yang Hongwu and asked. She was worried that Yang Hongwu had been possessed. If that was the case, she would rather die. "Don't worry, I'm still Yang Hongwu." Yang Hongwu naturally knew Nangong Sini's worries. "Those two bastards, although they are strong, they are still not my match. However, I'm afraid we are in trouble now. We can't stay in the goddess palace anymore." "Why do we have to leave? Are there helpers here?" Nangong Sini asked. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, "I don't know. But their strength is terrifying. If it's just me alone, I don't need to worry. But it's different with you guys. You guys are too weak. If I fight against them, I won't be able to take care of you guys at all. As for the goddess palace, we can't protect it." Nangong Sini and Huang Yi looked at each other. They were reluctant to leave. After all, the goddess palace was their home. How could they not be sad to see their home destroyed? However, since Yang Hongwu said so, the enemy must be extremely strong. Even Yang Hongwu might not be their match. How could Nangong Sini and Huang Yi do it? "It's safe here. You guys can cultivate here." After making arrangements for Nangong Sini and the others, Yang Hongwu returned to the goddess palace. He wanted to see why these people had come to the goddess palace. There was probably a huge secret in the goddess palace. If it wasn't for that, how could these experts come to the common people's continent? One should know that the spiritual chi in the common people's continent was extremely thin compared to the divine domain. Here, one's cultivation might even regress. After all, the spirit chi here was too thin to support their activities. Therefore, if there were no benefits, no one would go to a low-level plane. It was just like how a millionaire who was used to living a luxurious life would not go to the wilderness and live a life of slash and burn farming. The aura has disappeared. The leading divine emperor frowned. The aura of the evil monarch flag is obviously here, but it's suddenly disappeared. It seems that someone has hidden it. I'm afraid that the other party has sensed our arrival. Lord Evil Monarch will be fine. Another person said, No, it's hard to say because the incarnation of the Demon King has entered this world. The Demon King and Lord Evil Monarch are mortal enemies. This time, the Demon King paid a great price to send his incarnation into this world to deal with Lord Evil Monarch. Limpassan said, Therefore, we must find Lord Evil Monarch in the shortest time. Otherwise, Lord Evil Monarch will be in danger. But in this world, our spirit sense is suppressed. We can't use our full strength. If we use our full strength, it will cause the world to collapse. At that time, we won't be able to survive. Duan Jiesin said. Yang Hongwu listened to them and frowned. It seemed that these guys were looking for Wang Li. They must be Wang Li's subordinates. Although Lord Evil Monarch's aura has disappeared, the sky-penetrating disc shows that Lord Evil Monarch is nearby. If we search everywhere, we will definitely find him. The other party must have used a secret technique or formation to hide his aura. Lin Passan said, Moreover, Lord Evil Monarch is extremely powerful. He hasn't recovered yet. The other party won't be able to suppress him for long. Yang Hongwu frowned. Wang Li was indeed not simple. He even sent out a message. They had to deal with Wang Li in the shortest time possible. Otherwise, they would be in big trouble. These guys were using the sky-penetrating disc to sense Wang Li's aura. This was a big problem. Yang Hongwu used his mind to teleport away. He moved. Lord Evil Monarch moved to the east. He's moving so fast. Lin Passan was shocked. The other party appeared tens of thousands of feet away in a breath. This was probably a void travel technique. A void travel technique, the other party's strength, is terrifying. He can actually use a void travel technique in this world. Moreover, he's so far away. It won't be easy for us to catch him. Duan Jiesin said, Brother, why don't we split up? Let's go. You go and save Lord Evil Monarch. I'll go and find the origin of this world. All right. Lin Passan hesitated for a moment and nodded. This time, they entered this world for two reasons. One was to find Lord Evil Monarch Wang Li. The other was to seize a treasure in this small world, which was the origin of this small world. It was said that this small world was a small world derived from a part of a supreme treasure. As long as they could obtain the origin of this small world, they would be able to obtain a part of the supreme treasure. Once they obtained it, they could use this part of the supreme treasure to find the other part. At this moment, Yang Hongwu was already tens of thousands of miles away. He couldn't hear them anymore. Yang Hongwu set up a formation. This formation perfectly concealed his aura. After doing all this, Yang Hongwu entered his sea of consciousness again. I didn't expect that you would send a message to ask for help. I'm very surprised. Yang Hongwu looked at Wang Li and said, 2 godly emperors and 7 half-step godly emperors, that's really a big deal. If it weren't for the fact that they couldn't display their full strength, I'm afraid I would have been captured. Chapter 1577. Let me refine you. Yang Hongwu laughed wildly and activated the devouring furnace. He wanted to refine Wang Li completely. The majestic devouring power constantly scoured Wang Li's divine soul, devouring his strength little by little. You deserve to die. You dare to refine me? You will die a horrible death. Wang Li issued a miserable cry and cursed. Haha, you will die a horrible death. Now, it's you who will die a horrible death. If you didn't have any ideas about me, then this wouldn't have happened. Since you dare to have ideas about me, then I naturally dare to refine you. Yang Hongwu laughed and said, he didn't care about Wang Li's threat at all. You little beast, my true body will not let you go. Do you really think you can kill me? I'm just a clone. If you kill my clone, my true body will come out and make you die without a burial place. Wang Li roared loudly. Do you think I don't know? Yang Hongwu sneered. Your true body is sealed in the Odega divine domain. Do you really think I don't know? This incarnation of yours was born in advance in order to release your actual body. Unfortunately, you made a mistake. You wanted to obtain my physical body, but you never expected that I would be able to suppress you and even refine and devour your incarnation. As for your actual body, it will also be refined and devoured by me in the future. Yang Hongwu naturally wasn't a fool. At that time, the Dragon Emperor told him that this flag was related to the extraterrestrial demon sealed in the Odega divine domain. Therefore, it would be strange if Yang Hongwu didn't know that Wang Li was the extraterrestrial demon. Strange. If they were still in the Odega divine domain, Yang Hongwu wouldn't dare to act so recklessly. After all, although Wang Li's true body was sealed in the Odega divine domain, the seal had already loosened. Wang Li's clone could easily borrow the power of his true body. Even if Yang Hongwu was in the Western Dragon realm and could mobilize the power of heaven and earth, it was impossible for him to refine the spirit of this incarnation. However, this place wasn't the same. This wasn't Odega's divine realm. It was the mortal continent, another great world. Moreover, this should be the inner world of the mortal life seal. The seal was a supreme treasure. How could it allow a supreme expert to casually enter this world? Even Wang Yuan, who was stronger than Wang Li, was unable to enter this world with his original body. Therefore, the sealed Wang Li was even more unable to do so. You knew. Since you knew, you still dare to kill me. You? Who are you? Wang Li's eyes widened. He could feel his strength slowly dissipating, being refined by Yang Hongwu. He was unwilling, but there was nothing he could do. I've seen the holy doctor of the dragons, Li Longjin, and received his guidance, Yang Hongwu said. It's him. You're his disciple? Wang Li smiled wryly. Li Longjin's strength was extremely powerful, comparable to his own. When he was sealed, Li Longjin had exerted great effort. If it wasn't for Li Longjin, his original body wouldn't have been sealed. No. Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, You've said your last words. You can die now. Having said that, Yang Hongwu obliterated Wang Li's will. At this moment, Wang Li's spirit was completely dispersed and integrated into the devouring furnace. After being refined, it was poured into Yang Hongwu's body. With this majestic energy entering his body, Yang Hongwu's strength increased rapidly. In a short while, he rose from the third divine monarch realm to the fourth divine monarch realm. This speed was too shocking. Moreover, it didn't stop there. Wang Li was a supreme expert at the same level as Wang Yuan. Although they were just incarnations, this majestic energy was enough to increase Yang Hongwu's cultivation by a lot. Fifth divine monarch realm. In the end, Yang Hongwu's cultivation broke through to the fifth divine monarch realm. Only then did he finish refining Wang Li's energy. However, Yang Hongwu felt that it was a pity that he didn't get the so-called creation technique. Not good. The qi is gone. Lord Evil Monarch's incarnation is gone. Lin Pashan's expression changed. Damn it, who the hell is it? Duan Jiazong was also furious. He had failed to save Lord Evil Monarch's incarnation. Now he was in big trouble. His incarnation had been destroyed. Lord Evil Monarch, the matter of breaking the seal had to be postponed. In this way, the two of them would definitely be punished by Lord Evil Monarch. How could Lin Pasan and Duan Jiazong not be angry? We must find that person and cut him into pieces. Lin Pasan gritted his teeth and said, That's right. Duan Jiazong nodded his head. I wonder if Big Brother has found that treasure. If he has, then we can atone for our crimes. I hope that Lord Evil Monarch will give us a way out. If he has not found it, then I'm afraid we will not be able to escape punishment this time. Lin Pasan nodded. This time, he was the leader. Their main task was to save Wang Li's incarnation. Now that the incarnation was dead, if they couldn't find the treasure, then Lord Evil Monarch would definitely not let them off easily. Lord Evil Monarch's anger was terrifying. Thinking about it, they couldn't help but shiver. In Odega, divine domain, under the sixth world seal. Damn it, who is it? Who dares to kill my incarnation? Wang Li's true body roared, shaking the entire Odega divine realm. The sixth world divine emperors looked solemn. The seal is getting more and more unstable. I'm afraid it will break in less than 100 years. Dragon Emperor said. Figaro's expression was solemn. Seems like Lin Patian and the others have failed. Figaro and Lin Patian didn't get along well with each other. Figaro was happy to know that they had failed. However, Lin Patian and the others had failed. It meant that the other party wasn't any weaker than him. Otherwise, Lin Patian and Duan Jiesin would have been extremely strong if they joined hands. Besides, he could feel how strong evil monarch Wang Li was. Wang Li's time to break the seal was getting shorter and shorter. If he couldn't break through within 100 years, then he wouldn't have the chance. As long as he could break through, he would be able to control the 6 worlds. Then, he would be able to borrow the strength of the 6 worlds to seal evil monarch Wang Li. Then, he would be able to absorb evil monarch Wang Li's strength to reach a higher level. As for where they came from, Yang Hongwu didn't know. In fact, his cultivation was still too weak. If he was stronger, he would be able to obtain more information when he devoured their incarnations. Are they monarch god experts? Nangong Sini asked again. Even stronger. Yang Hongwu said, it seems like we're still too weak. Nangong Sini felt bitter. Before she met Yang Hongwu, Nangong Sini had always thought that she was one of the strongest and most outstanding geniuses in this world. However, after meeting Yang Hongwu, everything changed. Some ancient experts had appeared. Even Tai true god experts had appeared. Now, she had reached the Tai true god realm. However, she realized that Tai true god experts were nothing in front of those terrifying experts. In the past, she was just an ant. Right now, she was just a slightly stronger ant. This world was far bigger than what they had seen. There were many ancient experts whose strength was unfathomable. 3 days later, Pillar of Heaven's Mountain. Yang Hongwu appeared at the foot of Pillar of Heaven's Mountain alone. This Pillar of Heaven's Mountain was the tallest mountain in the entire Common People's continent. It was as tall as the backbone of the Common People's continent. Yang Hongwu looked at the majestic Pillar of Heaven's Mountain, and his heart was filled with emotions. Pillar of Heaven's Mountain was the place with the densest spiritual energy in the entire Common People's continent. However, it was also the most dangerous place in the Common People's continent. This was the ominous land of the Common People's continent. It was the source of the ominous chi in this world. As for how this ominous land was formed, no one knew. Rumor had it that the ominous chi in this Pillar of Heaven's Mountain was formed after the fall of an unparalleled king expert. However, that was only a rumor. Whether it was true or not, no one knew. Yang Hongwu came here to search for the Common People's seal. According to the information that Yang Hongwu knew, the Common People's seal was on this Pillar of Heaven's Mountain. In fact, the origin of the entire Common People's continent was on this Pillar of Heaven's Mountain. However, to obtain the Common People's seal and the origin of the Common People's continent was not an easy task. First, he had to find the exact location of the origin. This Pillar of Heaven's Mountain was not as simple as what he saw with his naked eyes. Rumor had it that there were countless spaces in this Pillar of Heaven's Mountain. These spaces were even more dangerous. Even Yang Hongwu could feel the difference in this Pillar of Heaven's Mountain. The ominous chi here was extremely terrifying. If one was infected by it, one would be eroded and even one's soul would be destroyed. Yang Hongwu knew that his physical body and soul were incomparably powerful. There was nothing that could obliterate his physical body and soul. However, the fiendish aura here made Yang Hongwu feel a sense of danger. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. A few familiar auras appeared. It was Lin Pasan, Duan Jiesin, and the others. Why did they come here? Could it be that the treasure they were talking about, the thing they were looking for, was the Common People's seal that he was looking for? If that was the case, it would be troublesome. 2 divine emperors and a few half-step divine emperors. Their strength was extremely powerful. Duan Jiesin, are you sure it's here? Lin Pasan looked at Duan Jiesin and asked. Apart from here, there is no other possibility. Duan Jiesin said, Big brother, the ominous chi here is extremely terrifying. Because of that, the possibility of that thing being here is even higher. This ominous chi is probably caused by that thing. I hope your guess is right. This time, if we can't find that thing, I'm afraid we won't have a good time when we go back. Lin Pasan said. Chapter 1579. It seemed like it had something to do with the life seal. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. If it wasn't for the life seal, they wouldn't have arrived here so coincidentally. In that case, he had to kill these people. Originally, Yang Hongwu didn't want to meet them face to face. But now, since their goal was the same as his, he had no choice but to kill them here. After all, the life seal was a treasure that couldn't be exposed. If it was exposed, he would be in a lot of trouble. Therefore, after all, Yang Hongwu knew that with his current strength, he was still okay in the Sangshan continent. If he left the Sangshan continent and went to the outside world, in the great universe, there would be many people who could threaten him. Even Wang Li and Wang Yuan's incarnations could threaten him. If they hadn't entered his soul sea, Yang Hongwu would have been killed by Wang Li. Boss, this evil spirit is too scary. What should we do to enter? If we can't resist this evil spirit, we won't be able to enter at all. One of them looked at Lin Pasan and said. Duan Jiesin also nodded. Yes, big brother. Once this evil spirit is contaminated, it will be very troublesome. It can corrode the soul and destroy the body. We can't resist it at all, unless we have the impenetrable saint body. Otherwise, we won't be able to resist it. If ordinary people go in, they will die. Don't worry. The evil king has already expected this. Although this evil spirit is strong, it's not impossible to solve. Lin Pasan said. What is it? Duan Jiesin and the others were very happy. Evil blocking talisman. Lin Pasan said. The evil monarch gave me 5 talismans. With these 5 talismans, 5 of us can go in while the rest can wait outside. Sun E, you guys stay here. We'll go in. Yes, big brother. Lin Pasan, Duan Jiesin, and the others immediately entered the pillar of heaven's mountains that was full of evil spirit. Opportunity. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. This was a good opportunity to get rid of the people outside. They were only half-step divine emperors. Yang Hongwu didn't need to pay too much to deal with them. Who is it? Come out. You're very vigilant. Yang Hongwu smiled. He didn't expect to be discovered so quickly. However, the formation was already set up. Yang Hongwu didn't care. Who are you? Sun Yi looked at Yang Hongwu coldly, as if he was facing a great enemy. However, Yang Hongwu was just a divine monarch, a middle divine emperor. They were all half-step divine emperors. A middle divine monarch was nothing in their eyes. Ha ha ha! What big words, Yang Hongwu said coldly. What if I don't leave? Then you'll die, Sun Yi said coldly. There are too many people who want me dead. But until now, no one has done it. Moreover, those who said this have all died in my hands. Yang Hongwu did not care at all and said in a calm tone, Brother Sun, I'll go and kill him. Wang Hong said. All right, Sun Yi nodded. Make it quick. Don't be careless. Don't worry, Big Brother Sunday. I don't place a mere middle divine Lord martial artist in my eyes. There won't be any problems. 10 breaths of time. I only need 10 breaths of time to deal with him, Wang Hong said. Get rid of me in 10 breaths. Yang Hongwu wasn't angry. Instead, he laughed and said, I'd like to see how you're going to get rid of me in 10 breaths. This guy really doesn't know what's good for him. Die. As he said, Wang Hong reached his hand out and grabbed towards Yang Hongwu. It was akin to an enormous eagle claw, grabbing over. It could tear heaven and earth apart. Yang Hongwu had to admit that this move was very powerful. If it were an ordinary 5th-level Divine Lord Realm Martial Artist, they would really not be able to withstand it. But he was not an ordinary Divine Lord Realm Martial Artist. Moreover, Yang Hongwu even laid down an array formation, enveloping this space inside the array formation. But Yang Hongwu did not dodge or avoid, not moving at all. This kid is probably scared silly. Seeing Yang Hongwu not moving, Wang Hong was extremely pleased with himself. However, in the next instant, something that shocked him appeared. This claw was grabbed onto Yang Hongwu's body, emitting a crisp sound. He felt like his hand seemed to have grabbed onto an unbreakable world barrier. The powerful recoil force instantly sent him flying out. His 5 fingers trembled uncontrollably. His fingers were broken by the powerful force of the recoil. Terrifying, too terrifying. Who is this guy? His physical body is so terrifying, so powerful. Seeing this scene, Sun Yi's face sank. He knew that this time, he was in big trouble. The strength of the person who came exceeded his expectations. He knew Wang Hong's strength. It was very powerful. Although it was not as good as him, it was also not much weaker than him. Wang Hong's claw was very powerful. Even he did not dare to meet force with force and had to avoid the edge. But this guy in front of him actually did not dodge or evade, using his physical body to resist this terrifying claw. How could he not be shocked? How could he not be shocked? My hand, damn little beast, I'm going to tear you into pieces. As he said, Wang Hong took out a weapon this time. That was an iron claw. This iron claw was forged from sky crystal iron. Although it could not compare to a supreme, true treasure, it was also a very powerful treasure. With this, Yang Hongwu did not dare to use his physical body to resist this claw. Devouring furnace. Yang Hongwu roared, and a huge furnace appeared in the void. This huge furnace erupted with a terrifying suction force, as if it had turned into an incomparably powerful and domineering small black hole. This small black hole instantly swallowed Wang Hong's iron claw. In the next moment, the iron claw began to melt at a speed visible to the naked eye. Then, it turned into pure energy. What? This time, Sun, he was even more terrified. At this moment, Wang Hong regained his senses. How could he not know that this young man in front of him was much stronger than him? The sky crystal iron claw was his life treasure. It was always successful when he used it. Now that it was being devoured, it instantly damaged his foundation. His body was severely injured, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He regretted it and quickly retreated, wanting to escape from the battlefield. However, how could Yang Hongwu let him do as he wished? Chapter 1580. The talisman exploded and instantly turned into a terrifying death chi that fused into Sun Yi's body. After withstanding this death chi, Sun Yi immediately lost his vitality and turned into a skeleton. He couldn't be more dead than this. The others were terrified when they saw Sun Yi's death. They wanted to run away. However, it was impossible to do so. This space had been sealed off by Yang Hongwu's formation. There was nowhere to run. Die! Yang Hongwu released the strength of the formation and killed them instantly. In the Pillar of Heaven Mountains, Lin Pashan's expression changed. Sun Yi and the others are dead. What? Duan Jiasin's expression changed. Did they encounter some terrifying, ferocious beast? No, it's impossible. There's no real threat in this world. No matter how strong they are, they're half-divine emperors. Who could pose a threat to them? No, there's someone else. Lin Pasan said. Who? The one who killed Sir Xiejun's clone. Lin Pasan said. That's right, I actually forgot about that. Duan Jiasin's face looked dignified. Even the incarnation of Xiejun could be killed. Nobody knew how strong the opponent was. However, it was certain that a half-step divine emperor was no match for him. Therefore, Sun Yi and the others, it wasn't surprising that Sun Yi and the others were killed. What should we do now? Let's continue. Lin Pasan said. Yes, we must find that thing. Duan Jiasin nodded. The group continued moving forward. At this moment, Yang Hongwu also entered the Pillar of Heaven's Mountains after searching for monsters. The evil chi in the Pillar of Heaven Mountains was terrifying. However, it didn't harm Yang Hongwu at all. Instead, it helped him refine his body and improve his cultivation. After all, Yang Hongwu had cultivated the immortal dragon body, the devouring furnace, and the red lotus hellfire. These were not just for show. Regardless of which one it was, they were enough to withstand the powerful demonic chi. Yang Hongwu was much faster than Lin Pasan and the others. Very quickly, Yang Hongwu found Lin Pasan and the others. In fact, Yang Hongwu could easily deal with them here. As long as he broke their evil warding talismans, it would be enough. However, he didn't do that. After all, their life and death were already in Yang Hongwu's hands. Their life and death depended on a single thought from Yang Hongwu. However, the reason why Yang Hongwu did not do so was because he wanted them to search for the Great Life Seal. Perhaps, if it was not for the Great Life Seal, if it wasn't for the seal, he couldn't let the other treasures go either. After all, for the evil monarch Wang Li to value something so highly, how could it be something simple? I have a bad feeling. Lin Pasan suddenly stopped and frowned. With the strength of the five of us, we can even kill a half-step sovereign emperor. There should be no need to be so nervous, right? Said Duan Jiasen. But don't forget where we are right now. Lin Pasan said, we haven't encountered any threats along the way. Isn't that strange? Brother, what's wrong with that? This is a place filled with evil spirits. What could survive here? A half-divine emperor asked. That's right, brother. The evil spirits here are terrifying. Even if we don't have the talismans, we won't be able to resist much of it. What can survive here? Said Duan Jiasen. So, it shouldn't be a big problem. Brother, you're thinking too much. This world is limited by the power of cosmic laws. We can't use all of our strength, so we can't give birth to godly emperors. It's impossible to surpass the godly emperor realm here. Maybe that person is here, said Lin Pasan. Watch out. Lin Pasan shouted and threw a punch. However, it was still too late. A black light suddenly appeared in front of them. This black light instantly hit one of them, and in the next moment his entire body was swallowed by the black light. At this moment, the others finally reacted. They were shocked when they saw the thing in front of them. It was an evil devouring beast. Ancient evil devouring beasts were terrifying. They ate evil spirits as their food and were extremely strong. The bodies of these evil devouring beasts could change between illusion and reality. It was very difficult to deal with them. It was impossible to slay these fiend-devouring beasts unless one possessed an unparalleled power or possessed the power of space to seal them. I didn't think that such a thing would appear here, said Lin Pasan solemnly. This evil-devouring beast was equivalent to a godly emperor. Moreover, ordinary attacks had no effect on this evil-devouring beast. That was the scariest part. Now, they understood why there were no living creatures here. What kind of living creatures could survive such a terrifying, evil-devouring beast? That was a joke. No matter how many living creatures there were, they wouldn't be enough for the evil-devouring beast to eat. Evil-devouring beasts not only ate evil spirits, they ate everything. It was said that evil-devouring beasts were related to Tao Tai. What should we do? Sun Jie, come here. Use your spatial technique to seal this guy, said Lin Pasan. Yes, brother. Although Sun Jie's heart ached, he also knew that this was a moment of life and death. He took out something. It was a spatial sealing talisman. This talisman was one of his greatest trump cards. Whether it was used to fight an enemy or to protect his life, it was extremely important. Once the talisman was used to seal his opponent, even an emperor wouldn't be able to break it in a short time. Therefore, this item was definitely very precious. Even an emperor would fight for it. This was his trump card. But now, he had no choice but to use it against the evil devouring beast. If he didn't use it, they would probably die here. Moreover, Lin Pasan had given the order. He couldn't refuse. Seal. The talisman flew out and turned into a prison, trapping the evil devouring beast in an instant. Roar. The moment the evil devouring beast was sealed up, it felt threatened. It howled out in rage as it tried its best to break through the seal. However, it was futile. There was no way it could break through the seal. Seeing this talisman, Yang Hongwu was also astonished. This talisman was extremely astonishing and had exceeded Yang Hongwu's expectations. At the very least, it was absolutely impossible for him to create such a talisman with his current strength. The power of this talisman was incomparably strong. The mysterious power of the law was extremely domineering. Chapter 1581. What a pity! Yang Hongwu sighed in his heart. If he could get his hands on the talisman, he would be able to study it. Perhaps he would be able to create a powerful talisman. However, the talisman had already been used, and there was no way for him to get his hands on it. Obviously, the talisman was a one-time consumable talisman. It wasn't a special talisman that could be reused. After all, the sealing ability of the talisman was already heaven-defying. If it could be reused, it would be incredible. Of course, if it was a spatial divine talisman, it would definitely be possible. Perhaps the talisman was a replica of the spatial divine talisman. Roar! The trapped evil devouring beast was still very ferocious. Even though it was sealed inside the talisman, Lin Jie could still feel its violent aura. Oomph. My talisman can even seal an expert of the Emperor realm. A mere evil-devouring beast is dreaming if it wants to break through. Sun Jie sneered. Violent deity vanquishing sword, destroy. Lin Pasan shouted, and a terrifying ancient sword appeared in his body. The ancient sword was filled with a violent and destructive aura. It was very terrifying. Yang Hongwu could feel the destructive energy even though he was so far away. Even Yang Hongwu wouldn't be able to withstand it if he was hit. The ancient sword wasn't simple. The talisman on it was a destructive talisman. It had a faint destructive aura. If it wasn't for Yang Hongwu's Dharma Eye of Annihilation, he wouldn't have been able to sense it. It seemed that the ancient sword wasn't simple. It wasn't an ordinary true treasure. One sword. Just one sword was enough to severely injure the evil devouring beast. If there was demonic qi, the evil devouring beast would be able to devour the demonic qi to recover. In other words, it would be extremely difficult to kill the evil devouring beast in the presence of demonic qi. However, there was no demonic qi in the current situation because the evil devouring beast was sealed in the talisman. There was no way for it to break out of the talisman. It couldn't devour evil devouring qi to recover, and it couldn't condense a powerful evil devouring armor. In the face of this powerful sword, the terrifying evil devouring beast was ultimately unable to withstand it. It was severely injured and couldn't recover. At the same time, Lin Pasan attacked again. Lin Pasan didn't hesitate to unleash his full strength and killed the evil devouring beast in an instant. Who knows if there was another evil devouring beast in this damned place? If another one appeared, it would be troublesome. After killing the evil devouring beast, Lin Fan cut open its body and a bead appeared. This bead was filled with a violent and ferocious aura. The evil devouring beast was a special kind of beast. It was very powerful, and its inner core was also very powerful. Ordinary people couldn't resist it. The evil devouring beast was slain, and its soul was completely destroyed. However, the remnant consciousness of the evil devouring beast still remained. What was left of the remnant consciousness of the evil devouring beast was an incomparably strong resentment and ferocious qi. If a person wasn't strong enough and was contaminated by the evil devouring qi, he would lose his mind and become a terrifying killing machine. However, Lin Pasan was a divine emperor. He could still resist the evil devouring beast. He just couldn't carry it around for a long time. He took out a special jade box and put the evil devouring beast's inner core into it and sealed it. The evil devouring beast's inner core is a good thing. Duan Jiasin said, if this inner core is given to old ghost poison dragon, TSK, he should be able to create a few good things. He can even scheme against imperial emperors. That's right. Even though I used a powerful talisman this time, the evil devouring beast's inner core should be able to make some powerful poisonous pills. Then, I'll give you 2 poisonous pills, said Lin Pasan looking at Sun Jie. After all, the talisman belonged to Sun Jie. Therefore, if he didn't give Sun Jie 2 poisonous pills, Sun Jie would feel uncomfortable. Even if he didn't say it out loud, he would still hold a grudge. How could Lin Pasan not see that? He was able to become Evil King Wang, Li's confidant, not only because of his strength, but also because of his ability to read people's minds. Every single one of his subordinates was extremely loyal to him because he had his own methods to convince them. He could be said to have played this method of combining kindness and coercion to perfection. Thank you, elder brother. Upon hearing this, Sun Jie, who was initially dissatisfied, was instantly moved to tears of gratitude. Of course, he knew about old fart Dulong's methods. The poisonous pills that he refined were extremely powerful. Of course, it also required some excellent materials. The infernal qi core was naturally a top-notch material. After all, without his talisman, even an emperor-level cultivator might not be able to kill the evil devouring beast. Even an emperor-level cultivator would be in danger if he was careless. Therefore, the poisonous pills refined from the evil-devouring beast's inner core and the evil-devouring beast's inconceivable and powerful methods would definitely be top quality. The two poisonous pills were equivalent to giving Sun Jie 2 trump cards. "Come, let's leave here first," said Lin Pasan. "Even though the evil-devouring beast has been killed, I feel that this mountain is even more dangerous. Therefore, we must find that thing as soon as possible and leave here. Otherwise, when the time is up, we won't be able to leave safely." Yang Han Wu, who was hiding in the dark, fell into deep thought. Two of them were divine emperors, while the others were half-step divine emperors. How could they enter the mortal continent without any restrictions? It would be strange if there were no restrictions. Hearing this, Yang Hongwu guessed that the reason why they could enter this world with their original bodies was because they had used some special means. This allowed them to not be rejected by the will of the heavenly Tao and to be able to display their powerful combat strength. However, the price to pay for this was certainly not small. Moreover, there must be some special restrictions. Chapter 1582. Yang Hongwu wanted to use them to find the Life Great Seal. They must have a special method to find that thing. Moreover, that thing was very likely to be the People's Great Seal. Although it wasn't 100% certain, the possibility was still very high. It was at least 80%. If they could find a fragment of the Life Grand Seal, then it would be the best for Yang Hongwu. Once they found the Life Grand Seal, Yang Hongwu was absolutely certain that he would be able to obtain the fragment. After all, Yang Hongwu had obtained a part of the Life Grand Seal, and it was a complete one at that. He had completely refined it, but he hadn't mastered it yet. This time, Lin Pasan and the others were much more cautious than before. They would check from time to time along the way. However, Yang Hongwu's concealment technique was brilliant. Unless an Emperor Realm expert came, or Yang Hongwu took the initiative to release his aura, it was impossible for them to find Yang Hongwu's location. Not far away. After a while, Lin Pashan's eyes shone brightly. He became very energetic. When the others heard this, their spirits were also lifted. "That's great. As long as we can find that treasure, we will definitely be rewarded by the evil monarch when we return." "That's right." Everyone nodded. "Don't be careless," Lin Pasan said. "Since we are about to find the treasure, we have to be even more careful. It's very well hidden. Rumor has it that a peerless expert hid it here. How could that peerless expert not set any restrictions? Big Brother is right. We can't be careless. We have reached a critical moment. We have to be even more careful. Rumor has it that even the evil king is no match for that expert. Actually, let me say, Big Brother is too nervous. There's nothing to worry about. Look ahead, there's no evil chi. Since there's no evil chi, our strength can be fully unleashed. In this world, there's no one who can resist us." Duan Jiesin pointed to a spot not far away. Over there, the clouds had parted and the moon was bright. The baleful chi in the surroundings had already dissipated. There was no longer any baleful chi in front of them. Without the baleful chi, it meant that they didn't need to constantly worry about the baleful chi. They were afraid that a terrifying beast would appear from within the baleful chi. It was as terrifying as the evil devouring beast. After all, Sun Jie only had one space seal talisman. There wouldn't be a second one. It would be troublesome if they encountered the evil devouring beast again. Now that the evil aura was gone, it meant that the evil devouring beast wouldn't appear. The evil devouring beast was a special mutated beast. It wouldn't appear in a place without evil aura. Therefore, since the evil devouring beast was gone, they didn't have to worry. As for other beasts or ferocious beasts, they could kill them. It's not that simple. Hearing this, Lin Pasan shook his head. Jiesin, why is there no evil aura? Have you thought this through? Why was it that there was baleful aura outside, but there was no baleful aura here? Once all the baleful aura came to this world, it would cause a huge commotion. The edge of the barrier is cut off? This, Duan Jiesin frowned. He really couldn't explain it. Maybe it's a special place. After a while, Duan Jiesin said, "No, it's not that simple. The reason why the evil aura can't enter here is because there's a powerful force blocking it. Or rather, there's something in the evil aura that can't be resisted. Lin Pasan said, something that can't be resisted? Could it be that kind of treasure? Someone asked. Yes, it must be so. Duan Jiasen said, Big brother, what are we waiting for? Let's do it quickly. That's right. I don't want to stay in this damned place anymore. The spiritual chi here is very thin. Although we are strong here, and if we stay here, we may even become the masters of this world. However, the spiritual chi here is too thin. If we continue to stay here, if we stay here, we don't know how much we'll lose. Sun Jie said, I think this time, whether we can get that treasure or not, we have to leave this place. If we can't get it, there's no need for us to return to Odega Divine Realm. Leave Odega Divine Realm and go to a place where the evil monarch can't find us or join the Demon King Wang Yuan. Although the Demon King Wang Yuan and the evil monarch Wang Li are enemies, do you know that the Demon King and the evil monarch are brothers? Lin Pasan said coldly. Although they don't like each other, they'll join forces at the critical moment. At that time, will you live or die? As for escaping from Odega Divine Realm, that's not a bad choice, but do we have enough strength to do so? Once the evil monarch escapes, it won't be difficult for him to find us. Lin Pasan sneered. You're thinking too simply. If we can't get that treasure, we'll still have to go back. I just hope that Lord Evil Monarch will spare our lives on account of our loyalty to Lord Evil Monarch for so many years. Lin Pasan wanted to be free, but he knew that they were now Wang Li's subordinates. If they dared to rebel or betray him, the consequences would be unimaginable. The evil monarch hated betrayals the most. Lin Pasan had followed the evil monarch Wang Li for countless years and had experienced many things. Many people had betrayed the evil monarch Wang Li, but none of them had a good ending. Anyway, let's go and see if we can find that treasure. If we can find it, we won't have to go through so much trouble. Sun Jie gulped. All right, you go first. Duan Jiasen pointed at the weakest person. Brother Jiasen, I told you to go. What are you nagging about? Duan Jiasen glared at him. That person had no choice but to go forward. In the distance, Yang Hongwu frowned. There was no baleful chi there. It was indeed strange. The spirit chi in that space was very thin. It was very strange. However, Yang Hongwu didn't dare to use his mental power to investigate. After all, the unknown was especially scary. If there was something terrifying in that space, it would be troublesome. Chapter 1583. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Ge Weihua cautiously and fearfully walked forward. When he stepped into that area, something shocking happened. Ge Weihua, a living person, actually turned into a wisp of green smoke and disappeared. Brother, what's going on? Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. Even Yang Hongwu was shocked. This was too shocking. Just a moment ago, he was still alive, but after entering that world, he turned into a wisp of smoke and disappeared. This was too terrifying, especially Lin Pasan and the others. They had Ge Weihua's soul jade. Now that Ge Weihua's soul jade was broken, it meant that Ge Weihua was dead. Moreover, his soul had been destroyed. There was no possibility for him to cultivate again. Lin Pasan took a deep breath. His face darkened. There must be something we need there. Duan Jiasen swallowed his saliva. If he didn't send people to check, they would all be dead now. Strange, it was too strange. At this time, Yang Hongwu was also very shocked in his heart. At the same time, he was also very glad. If he had impulsively taken the lead to enter that space, he did not know what would have happened. This place was too strange. Yang Hongwu didn't know how Ge Weihua died. It was precisely because of this that the terrifying aspect of this space was revealed. If the fragment of the common life Great Seal, the origin of this world, was really here, then how would he be able to seize the origin of this world? Yang Hongwu was helpless. It wasn't easy to obtain treasures. Brother, what should we do now? Retreat? At this time, Duan Jiasen no longer doubted Lin Pasan's words. Whatever Lin Pasan said was the truth. After all, Duan Jiasen knew that even though he was also a divine emperor, he was much weaker than Lin Pasan. If they fought, Lin Pasan could easily crush him. it wouldn't be difficult for Lin Pasan to kill him. On the contrary, if Duan Jessen fought, he would be defeated easily. If he fought Lin Pasan, he would definitely die. There was no hope. No. Lin Pasan shook his head. Lin Pasan shook his head. The thing is inside. If I leave now, I won't be able to get the treasure. That's not my style. But, big brother, that place is too dangerous. As soon as Gu Weihua entered that space, he was killed. Not even his corpse remained, and his soul was scattered. He didn't even have a chance to cultivate again, said Duan Jessen. Yes, we don't know where this place is. The area in front of us is very strange. How can we break through it? This is a huge problem. None of us here can do it. Sun Jie said, if I can't break through it, if I still have my space seal talisman, I might be able to make use of it. However, that space seal talisman has already been used up when I was dealing with the evil devouring beast. Now that I have no more trump cards left, how can I enter safely? You don't have to worry about that. We might not be able to do it, but that doesn't mean others can't. Lin Pasan said, you mean Lord Xie? Duan Jessen was startled. But didn't Lord Xie's incarnation die? If it's the evil lord, he can indeed do it. However, Brother Jessen is right. The evil lord's incarnation has already fallen. How can he appear here? Sun Jie said. Suddenly, Duan Jessen's eyes lit up. He looked at Lin Pasan and asked, Could it be that you're talking about the mysterious man who killed the evil king's incarnation? That's impossible. That person killed Evil Lord's incarnation and is clearly our enemy. Why would he help us? Sun Jie said, yes, if that person really appeared, we'd be lucky if he didn't attack us. Why would he help us get the treasure? The others agreed. No one would lend a helping hand in such a dangerous matter for no reason. You're here. Why don't you come out? Lin Pasan didn't answer. He looked at Yang Hongwu and shouted. Yang Hongwu was shocked when he heard that. Did that guy find him? Impossible. My concealment technique is unparalleled in the world. How can a divine emperor realm warrior find me? Yemo thought. The possibility was too small. However, Yang Hongwu couldn't figure it out. If that guy wasn't talking about him, who was he talking about? Don't hide. I found you long ago. Lin Pasan said to Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. He was sure that Lin Pasan was talking about him. Yang Hongwu was puzzled. He didn't understand how Lin Pasan found him. Yang Hongwu was very curious. This should be some kind of powerful secret technique. Otherwise, he would never be able to do this. Yang Hongwu released his aura and revealed himself. A divine lord realm martial artist? How is that possible? Seeing Yang Hongwu appear, Duan Jessen and the others widened their eyes. A mere middle divine lord realm martial artist had actually been hiding by their side and hadn't been discovered. Moreover, what they were even more curious about was that a mere divine lord realm martial artist had appeared. How did a middle stage divine emperor resist the terrifying evil spirit? Did he have a powerful talisman in his hand? Or a powerful talisman? If that was the case, it wouldn't be a big deal. However, what Lin Pasan said just now was that the person who could solve the crisis in that space was a middle-stage divine emperor. This was too unrealistic. Big brother, are you talking about this kid? I think he's weaker than me. He's just a middle-stage divine emperor. He's too weak. That's right. How could he do something that even Big Brother couldn't do? Everyone was puzzled. There was no need to use Gu Weihua as cannon fodder to probe the situation, because Gu Weihua had already paid the price with his life. Of course, to them, Yang Hongwu was just a stranger. He might even be an enemy. Therefore, they didn't mind letting Yang Hongwu test the danger. Chapter 1584. Aura, it's aura. Lin Pasan didn't try to hide anything. You have the aura of the evil monarch on you, so you must be the one who killed the evil monarch's incarnation. No, why didn't you notice me before? Yang Hongwu asked. Back then, when he killed the evil tyrant Wang Li. Although he had hidden himself and was busy breaking through, if the other party could sense his aura, they should have been able to discover him. However, he didn't. This was very surprising. Lin Pasan didn't answer. Instead, he looked at Yang Hongwu. Who are you? Who am I? Yang Hongwu smiled. You only need to know that I'm the enemy of the evil King Wang Li. As for you, it's up to you whether you want to be my enemy or not. What are you afraid of? Brother, he's just a divine monarch. Let's attack him together. It's easy to kill him. That's right. This kid's cultivation is too weak. I'm afraid he's not the one who killed the incarnation of the evil king. Sun Jie nodded. Shut up. Lin Pashan's face darkened as he said coldly. He was certain that the person in front of him was the one who had killed the incarnation of the evil monarch. There was no doubt about it. This person's cultivation seemed to be at the divine monarch realm. However, he had probably concealed a lot of things. He had restrained his aura and concealed his cultivation level. That was why they could only see his divine monarch realm cultivation level. Because this person's strength was probably above theirs. Could it be that this person was an emperor? That wasn't right. If he was an emperor, he wouldn't be able to enter this space unless it was an incarnation. As for whether it was an incarnation or not, they didn't know. Maybe this person was one of the Demon King Wang Yuan's subordinates? You're one of the Demon King's subordinates? Lin Pasan asked. The Demon King has many subordinates, but only a few can kill the incarnation of the evil king. However, I don't remember anyone like you. Who are you? Lin Pasan did not act rashly. Since the other party dared to appear in front of them, it was enough to prove that he was strong enough to deal with them. After all, Yang Hongwu's expression didn't change in the slightest. He was very calm, which made Lin Pasan quite nervous. If they really fought, he didn't have the confidence to win. This person seemed to have a middle-stage divine monarch cultivation, but the danger he posed was too great. Lin Pashan's intuition had saved him many times. Lin Pashan's intuition had saved him many times. Lin Pashan's intuition had saved his life many times. If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have been able to grow to such a level. No, Yang Hongwu shook his head. You don't need to know my identity. The question now is whether you want to be my enemy. We don't want to be your enemy, Lin Pasan said. But why are you following us? Big brother. Hearing this, Sun Jie, Duan Jiesin, and the others were very confused. This person was related to the death of the evil monarch's incarnation. If the evil monarch were to hear about this, it would be a huge taboo if they didn't kill this person. They were very clear about this point. If they really did that, the evil monarch would definitely not let them off. I know. Lin Pasan waved his hand and looked at Yang Hongwu. Follow you? Yang Hongwu smiled. I'm not following you. I'm going there. Yang Hongwu pointed at a place without any fiendish energy. In that case, please. Lin Pashan's expression didn't change at all. He stepped aside and said to Yang Hongwu. The corners of Yang Hongwu's mouth curled into a smile. Although he was confident that he wouldn't be killed like Guihua, Yang Hongwu wasn't willing to take such a risk. I've changed my mind. I want you to submit to me. If you don't, I'll kill all of you. Yang Hongwu looked at Lin Pasan. What arrogance! Duan Jiesin finally lost his temper. Big brother, wait for me to kill him. Duan Jiesin made his move. A saber appeared in his hand, and a terrifying saber light burst out. He slashed at Yang Hongwu. This attack contained 80% of Duan Jiesin's strength. It was the limit of his strength in this world. Duan Jiesin wasn't as smart as Lin Pasan, but he wasn't a fool. This person in front of him was a mid-stage divine monarch, but he didn't show any fear when facing them. He knew that this person wasn't as simple as he looked. Lin Pasan also said that he was the one who killed the evil king's incarnation. He believed that the possibility was very high. As a result, he did not hold back at all when he attacked. He used his most powerful attack in this world as soon as he attacked. He wanted to kill with a single strike and not give his opponent any chance to retaliate. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. He had to admit that this kid wasn't stupid. However, they had forgotten where they were. The Sky Pillar Mountain was shrouded in a murderous aura. They were surrounded by the baleful qi. The only place that was not surrounded by the baleful qi was the place not far in front of them. However, that place was filled with danger and was incomparably terrifying. One must know that when Guihua entered that area, he did not even have time to react. He died. No one dared to go there without knowing what the reason was and without enough confidence. Go! Yang Hongwu saw Duan Jiesin's attack and took out a talisman. The talisman turned into a ray of light and fell in front of Duan Jiesin. Duan Jiesin didn't feel any powerful attack from the talisman, but because of this, Duan Jiesin was afraid and worried. In fact, he seemed to be impulsive and suspicious. If he didn't have enough confidence, he would still hold back. If he continued to attack, the light from the talisman would directly bombard his heart. Therefore, Duan Jiesin had to turn his attack into a defensive one. He tried to resist Yang Hongwu's attack. However, he thought too simply. Although Duan Jiesin used his war blade to block that ray of light, he heard a crisp sound when the ray of light congealed by the talisman collided with his war blade. It was like the sound of a withered branch breaking. It was very crisp. Chapter 1585. Without the protection of the talisman, Duan Jiesin was exposed to the evil qi. Even though Duan Jiesin was a godly emperor, he couldn't resist it for long. His expression changed drastically, and he was terrified to the extreme. Evil warding talisman. You destroyed my evil warding talisman? At this time, Duan Jiesin felt the invasion of the baleful aura. At this moment, the baleful aura had already entered his body. He had no choice but to circulate his energy to resist this baleful aura. He couldn't fight against Yang Hongwu. Brother, give me an evil warding talisman. Lin Pasan didn't think that things would turn out like this. The enemy didn't even attack them, and they lost their ability to fight. Sun Jie and the others were terrified. If the enemy could easily destroy Duan Jiesin's talisman, it meant that they weren't safe either. The enemy could also destroy their talismans. No more. I only have so many talismans. I've used them all, said Lin Pasan. Duan Jiesin's expression changed. He said, Brother, you can't watch me die. Then, Duan Jiesin looked at the others. Sun Jie and the others quickly retreated. They weren't stupid. They knew that Duan Jiesin was plotting against them. Lin Pasan sighed. A half-godly emperor didn't have time to react, and Lin Pasan threw an evil warding talisman to Duan Jiesin. Brother, you my evil warding talisman. That person wasn't Lin Pashan's opponent at all. He couldn't resist Lin Pashan's evil warding talisman. Without the evil warding talisman, he would die. They were still very far away from the Pillar of Heaven's mountains. He couldn't hold on until then. I'm sorry, Xiaohe. Xiaohe, go over there. There's a chance of survival, said Lin Pasan. Yes, Xiaohe. Sun Jie nodded. As long as it wasn't him, nobody wanted to die. Xiaohe was the weakest among them. Even though Xiaohe was furious, he couldn't do anything. He didn't have an evil warding talisman and had to pay a great price to resist the evil qi. Even if he had an evil warding talisman, he couldn't defeat Lin Pasan and the others. However, asking him to go to that area was simply courting death. One had to know that when Ge Weihua had entered that area, he had instantly died without a burial ground. He did not think that he was special and could withstand that terrifying power. Lin Pasan, you forced me to do this, said Hiyong. You dare to threaten brother? You're courting death, you know that? After obtaining the evil warding talisman, Duan Jiesin was only a half-godly emperor who had just broken through to the half-godly emperor level. And he had just become a half-godly emperor. In the upper realm, he was too weak and did not have any powerful treasures to protect himself. In addition, he did not have a baleful warding talisman now, so he needed to use his spiritual power to ward off the baleful aura. Therefore, with his strength, it was easy to kill Hiyong. Master, something unexpected happened. Hiyong knelt down in front of Yang Hongwu and said, Master, please take me in. I'm willing to be your slave. Duan Jiesin was dumbfounded. That's right. He was definitely going to die now, and only one person could save him, and that was Yang Hongwu. You want to submit to me? Yang Hongwu smiled. However, he had to admit that this Hiyong was indeed very smart. There was no one present who could save him, and the only one who could save his life was Yang Hongwu himself. This was a ray of hope. Of course, it was too easy for Yang Hongwu to save him. It was just an evil warding talisman. Yang Hongwu could save him even without the talisman. Hiyong, you want to betray Master Xie Jun? Do you know who he is? He killed Master Xie Jun's incarnation. You should know the consequences of betraying Master Xie Jun, said Duan Jiesin loudly. Hiyong shuddered when he heard this. He was terrified. Indeed, no one who betrayed Evil King Wang Li had a good ending. Evil King Wang Li was a domineering person. How could he allow his subordinates to betray him? But he had no choice now. If he had a choice, he wouldn't betray evil King Wang Li. After all, the price of betrayal was too high. But if he didn't betray evil King Wang Li, he would die now. His soul would scatter, and he wouldn't even have the chance to reincarnate. How could he be willing to accept that? So, in order to survive, he would betray. Moreover, the man in front of him was powerful. He even killed evil King Wang Li's incarnation. This proved that he wasn't afraid of evil King Wang Li. Maybe under his protection, he wouldn't have to worry about evil King Wang Li's revenge. So what? I don't want to die. Duan Jiesin. In order to survive, you can do anything. Sun Jia. The rest of you are the same. You just took my evil warding talisman. If you wait for their evil warding talisman to break, you will be next. He Yong said coldly. Submitting to young noble is a wise choice. As the saying goes, a wise man submits to circumstances. Young noble is incomparably strong. Although the evil tyrant is strong, I think young noble is even stronger. Haha, not bad, not bad. Yang Hongwu laughed loudly. You have good eyesight. That's right. Although the evil monarch Wang Li is strong, it's only SOSO. Moreover, the current evil monarch Wang Li is just a prisoner. His incarnation has already been killed by me. I don't know how long that will take. Young master, please save me. He-Yong was overjoyed when he heard Yang Hongwu's words. This meant that Yang Hongwu had accepted his submission. This also meant that his life was no longer in danger. As long as he could survive, everything was fine. This is a protective talisman that I have refined. This talisman is enough to protect you. Moreover, it can withstand the full blow of a divine emperor expert. Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and a talisman flew out and landed on He-Yong's body. Thank you, young master. Thank you. He-Yong was overjoyed and quickly kowtowed. Yang Hongwu smiled. A spiritual light shot out and entered between He-Yong's eyebrows. This is a restriction. As long as you don't betray me, this restriction won't do you any harm. Instead, it will allow your cultivation to improve by quite a bit. However, if you have any thoughts of betraying me, this restriction will directly take your life. Chapter 1586. After sensing that restriction, He-Yong originally had some other thoughts, but now they were completely cut off. He looked at Yang Hongwu with a look of reverence. Master, He-Yong hurriedly knelt and kowtowed. I will definitely not betray Master. He-Yong does not have the slightest intention of betraying Master. Rise. Yang Hongwu nodded in satisfaction. You. Lin Pashan's expression darkened. Who are you? This was a slap to his face. At this moment, San Jie and the others were looking at Lin Pashan with reverence. If Lin Pashan and the others lost their talismans next time, wouldn't their talismans be stronger than theirs? That was why they were worried about Lin Pashan and Duan Jiesin. However, they didn't want to become Yang Hongwu's slaves. Submit or die. Yang Hongwu didn't want to waste time with them. He looked coldly at Lin Pashan and the others. As for Duan Jiesin, Yang Hongwu didn't even care. He had already sentenced him to death. Big brother, let's do it together or we won't have a chance. Duan Jiesin said. Shut up. Lin Pashan glared at him. If he didn't act rashly, things wouldn't have turned out this way. Yang Hongwu gave him a very dangerous feeling. If they were outside, he would still be confident. However, they were inside the Pillar of Heaven's mountains. The Pillar of Heaven's mountains was surrounded by a terrifying, baleful qi. Moreover, Yang Hongwu could easily destroy their baleful warding talismans. They would have to pay a huge price to block the fiendish energy. Whether they could make it out alive would be a big problem. How would they have the strength to fight? Therefore, this was their greatest crisis. If possible, Lin Pashan didn't want to fight Yang Hongwu. Young master, we were in the wrong just now. I apologize to young master. Lin Pashan took out a special box. This is a celestial foothill grass. Please accept it, young master. When Lin Pashan took out this stalk of celestial foothill grass, his heart ached incomparably. This was an extremely precious medicinal ingredient that could be used to refine celestial foothill spirit pills. This kind of pill was extremely precious. It could help a warrior break through the bottleneck of the half-step divine emperor realm and become a divine Emperor realm expert. Of course, although the success rate was only 50%, it was still very precious. It was a precious elixir that even Emperor-level experts would fight for. This kind of medicinal pill could not only help martial artists break through cultivation realms, but it could also temper the physical body and help martial artists comprehend the power of laws. Big brother. Duan Jessen's eyes widened when he saw Lin Pasan take out a celestial foothill grass. Celestial foothill grass could be used to concoct pills. It was extremely precious. There were very few alchemists who could concoct pills of that level, and the success rate was extremely low. Alchemists could also use it to concoct pills. Even though the effect wasn't as good, it was enough for him to break through to the next cultivation level. At their level, it was extremely difficult to break through to the next level. Duan Jessen had been stuck at the first godly emperor layer for many years. If he had the celestial foothill grass, he would be able to break through to the next level in a very short time, or even break through to the next level. It was possible to break through 2 levels and reach the 3rd layer of the godly emperor realm. Good stuff. Yang Hongwu stretched out his hand and grabbed it. Duan Jessen just stared at it. His eyes were filled with greed. However, he didn't dare attack. He had just attacked Yang Hongwu, and he had already destroyed his talisman. Talismans were extremely precious there. If another one was destroyed, it would be very troublesome. Because of this celestial foothill grass, I'll give you face and let you leave. Yang Hongwu said to Lin Pasan. Duan Jessen's expression changed. You want to take all the treasures here? Yang Hongwu smiled and said, You think too much. I said he can leave, but you can't. Your Excellency, aren't you being too arrogant? Said Lin Pasan coldly. Even if you can destroy our talismans, if we use our full strength, we can still kill you. Kill me? Yang Hongwu smiled. You could try. Brother, let's do it, said Duan Jessen. Duan Jessen was very jealous of the celestial foothill grass. If he could get it, he would become much stronger. How could he let go of such an opportunity? Your Excellency, it seems like you want to make things difficult for us. Lin Pasan took a deep breath. Then let's fight. Let's do it. Lin Pasan roared and made his move. He turned into a flash of lightning and shot towards Yang Hongwu. His speed was so fast that people couldn't see him clearly. At the same time, Duan Jessen also moved. He released a powerful energy. This time, he didn't hold back at all. Sun Jie and the others were afraid, but they didn't hesitate. They all attacked Yang Hongwu at the same time, and in an instant, they attacked him from all directions. Sky-killing formation rise. Yang Hongwu shouted. Rays of light burst out and instantly formed a huge array formation. This array formation condensed the baleful aura from all directions. 12 terrifying strange beasts were formed. These 12 strange beasts were extremely ferocious. They were formed by the baleful qi. Each of them was as strong as a peak half-step divine emperor. Furthermore, the formation they formed was even more pressurizing. The 12 ferocious beasts immediately launched their attacks. They blocked the attacks of Lin Pasan and the others. Although Lin Pasan and Duan Jessen were god kings, they couldn't gain the upper hand against the beasts in the formation. On the other hand, Sun Jie and the others were barely able to block the attacks of a single ferocious beast. Damn it, he's a formation master. Duan Jessen had never thought that the other party was actually so powerful and was even a powerful array master. Break, then. Yang Hongwu attacked again. He made several hand seals, which turned into mysterious talismans. These talismans shot towards Duan Jessen and the others. Oh no, be careful. Lin Pasan shouted when he saw this. Quick dodge. Chapter 1587. This time, Sun Jie and Duan Jessen both had their talismans broken. Lin Pasan had dodged in time and avoided Yang Hongwu's attack. Therefore, his talisman didn't break. My talisman. Once again, the evil warding talisman was shattered. Duan Jessen felt incomparably sullen. The evil warding talisman was the foundation of resisting the baleful aura. Without it, one would be attacked by the baleful aura. As time passed, one would not be able to resist. One would become a servant of the baleful aura and be controlled by it. He would lose his sense of self and become a killing machine without any sense of self. He would die from exhaustion in the end. Luo Gaoi, give me your talisman. Duan Jiasin stared at the other person. He had used up his talisman. Only Lin Pasan and Luo Gaoi had talismans. He didn't dare attack Lin Pasan because the difference in strength was too great. However, Luo Gaoi wasn't afraid. Although he had to expend energy to resist the invasion of the demonic qi, he was still able to suppress Luo Gaoi, given his cultivation as a divine emperor. Luo Gaoi's expression changed drastically. As expected, Duan Jiasin had lost his talisman and was about to attack them. Sun Jie was also staring at Luo Gaoi. Impossible, Luo Gaoi said coldly. Duan Jiasin, if it were any other time, I would be afraid of you. But now, you're injured, and you're wasting your energy to resist the fiendish qi. Although I can't kill you, it's impossible for you to take the talisman from me. Then try. Then, Duan Jiasin attacked. After all, he was a godly emperor, so he was much stronger than Luo Gaoi. Luo Gaoi had the talisman, so he wasn't injured. He didn't need to waste his energy, so he could use his full strength to suppress the evil qi. He could use his full strength. However, Duan Jiasin couldn't. Thus, for a time, neither of them had the upper hand. However, it was obvious that even though Duan Jiasin was suppressing his cultivation and using his strength to suppress the talisman, his control over his strength was much better than Luo Gaoi's. Luo Gaoi was at a disadvantage. However, Luo Gaoi wasn't weak either. It was impossible for Duan Jiasin to defeat him in a short time. Besides, Luo Gaoi wasn't stupid. He knew that he wasn't Duan Jiasin's opponent. However, he just needed to delay. The longer he delayed, the more advantageous it would be for him. After all, he didn't need to use his strength to resist the evil qi. But Duan Jiasin did. If he delayed, if he stayed for too long, Duan Jiasin would be unable to resist the baleful aura due to the exhaustion of his magic power, losing his own consciousness and becoming a puppet. Stop! Lin Pasan shouted angrily after knocking Yang Hongwu back with one strike. If this continued, they would all die here. After all, they had a powerful enemy, and that enemy was none other than Yang Hongwu. Do you all want to die here? Lin Pasan asked Luo Gaoi and Duan Jiasin. Big brother, Duan Jiasin is a bastard. He forced me to do this, Luo Gaoi said. At this moment, they were in a hopeless situation, because they had no way to deal with Yang Hongwu. Lin Pasan was very strong. He could resist Yang Hongwu and protect his talisman, but the others couldn't. Now, only Luo Gaoi was left. Duan Jiasin's and the others' talismans were already broken. Lin Pasan, you are not my opponent. If you surrender, maybe I can give you a way out. Yang Hongwu said to Yang Hongwu, as long as he obtained the fragment of the common people's great seal and refined the source energy of this world, he would be able to control the common people's continent and become the true master of the common people's continent. In this way, his strength would increase greatly. At that time, he would have enough confidence to kill an imperial emperor below the world realm. Of course, the premise was that the opponent was in the common people's continent. If they were in the common people's divine domain, then it would be different. In the common people's divine domain, there were many experts. In the beginning, Yang Hongwu thought that in the common people's divine domain, a half-step divine emperor was the strongest existence. However, in the common people's divine domain, there were divine emperors. Therefore, in the common people's divine domain, it was impossible that there were no divine emperors. There might even be an existence that surpassed the divine emperor realm. Surrender? What a joke. Who am I? You're just a mid-divine monarch, and you want me to surrender? You're underestimating me. Lin Pasan said coldly. If you don't submit, everyone will die here. This is my formation. In here, I am the ruler, the controller, the only emperor. No one can disobey me. If they do, they will all die. Think carefully. I will give you 10 more breaths of time. After 10 breaths of time, I will make my move. Those who do not submit will die here. Yang Hongwu's tone was so light, as if there was no trace of smoke or fire. What should we do? Brother, I don't want to die. Sun Jie said. Without the talisman, I won't be able to resist for long. Brother, let's surrender. Duan Jiesin said. Shut up, Lin Pasan said coldly. Now, there's only one way. What way? Duan Jiesin was overjoyed. He didn't expect Lin Pasan to still have a trump card. This is my greatest trump card. I originally planned to use it only when I meet an expert like the Demon Lord. But now I have no choice. I have no other choice. Lin Pasan looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Boy, you're not bad. You're the first person who can force me to this point. Even the evil monarch didn't have this ability. What a big tone. Let's see what other trump cards you have. Yang Hongwu looked at Lin Pasan. Time reversal. Something appeared in Lin Pasan's hand. It was a translucent piece of jade that contained the mysterious power of laws. This was the power of time and space. Lin Pasan infused his spiritual power into the jade stone. In an instant, the jade stone burst out with a strong light. At this moment, Yang Hongwu could feel the boundless power of time and space. Time and space around him were reversing. What a terrifying power of laws. Yang Hongwu mustered up all his mana, wanting to resist this powerful and domineering force, but he felt somewhat powerless. Chapter 1588. What's this? Yang Hongwu wasn't willing to accept this. This powerful force was on his body, and it was as if it was going to reverse everything. Yang Hongwu felt his cultivation regress, returning him to the beginning of his cultivation. Yang Hongwu felt his spiritual power and cultivation regress. This caused Yang Hongwu's expression to change. If this continued, he would be in big trouble. How could he be a match for Yang Hongwu after his spiritual power regressed? Brother, I didn't expect you to have such a powerful treasure. It's amazing. When Duan Jiesin caught sight of this, his face was filled with astonishment. His eyes were filled with greed. This was an unparalleled, utmost treasure. If he could get his hands on it, he would definitely be comparable to an Emperor State powerful being. Killing an Imperial Emperor Realm expert was definitely not a difficult task. This is my greatest trump card. This space-time jade can only be used once every 1,000 years. It consumes a lot of energy. Lin Pasan said, if it wasn't for this situation, I wouldn't have used it. It can only be used once every 1,000 years. What a pity. If you could use it all the time, you would be invincible, Duan Jiesin said. However, they also knew that such a treasure was truly heaven-defying. It was much more terrifying than Sun Jie's talisman. One must know that Sun Jie's talisman could only be used once. However, this precious jade was not only more powerful and terrifying, it could also be used repeatedly. How could this be? This was the most precious treasure. Lin Pasan and the others watched as Yang Hongwu fell into the vortex of the space-time jade. His cultivation was regressing and the power of the formation was weakening. This formation was under Yang Hongwu's control. As his cultivation grew weaker, the power of the formation would naturally decrease as well. However, Lin Pasan wasn't having a good time either. It wasn't easy to use the space-time jade to reverse time and space. It consumed a lot of spiritual power and spiritual power. Time passed little by little. Lin Pasan was covered in sweat. He had used too much of his spiritual power. What surprised Lin Pasan was that although Yang Hongwu was young and only in the Divine Monarch realm, the pressure he exerted on the space-time jade was enormous. It wasn't easy to reverse time and space completely. However, he had to grit his teeth and persevere. If he didn't, they would be the ones to die. If he didn't want to die, he had to persevere. Moreover, the kid wouldn't be able to last much longer. After all, this was a space-time jade. It was a treasure that could defeat an emperor. How could it be so simple if he used all his strength? At this time, Yang Hongwu was indeed in a huge crisis. His cultivation was constantly falling and retreating. Even his soul and body seemed to be returning to their original state. This made Yang Hongwu extremely shocked. However, there was nothing he could do at this moment. The power of time and the space-time law were too terrifying. Void travel. Yang Hongwu couldn't do anything. The only thing he could do now was to try and leave this place. However, even though Yang Hongwu had used a secret technique to move through space, it was useless. Under the suppression of the space-time jade, All his abilities and secret techniques had been suppressed. He was unable to use them. Damn it. Am I going to die here today? Yang Hanwu had experienced countless life and death situations, but he had never been in a situation like this. He was so aggrieved that he couldn't do anything about it all. Yang Hanwu didn't feel so helpless even when he faced the evil monarch Wang Li and the demon king Wang Yuan. No, this is impossible. How can I, Yang Hanwu, die here? I have experienced countless life and death situations. How can I be killed by a mere piece of space-time jade? This is absolutely impossible. Yang Hanwu roared in his heart. A powerful force erupted from his body. This force was none other than foam. It was the mysterious and ancient power that sealed Yang Hanwu's body. What kind of power is this? Lin Pashan's expression changed when he saw Yang Hanwu's sudden increase in cultivation. This kind of power was even more terrifying than the evil monarch Wang Li. No, space-time reversal. This is the power of his past life. Lin Pashan thought of a terrifying thing. This young man was a peerless expert in his past life. He was even more powerful than the evil monarch Wang Li. Now, he was courting death by using the space-time treasure. The space-time reversal jade successfully stimulated the overbearing power in Yang Hanwu's body. Big brother, hurry up and kill this little bastard. Duan Jiasin shouted when he saw Yang Hanwu's sudden outburst. He didn't want to die. He had already attacked Yang Hanwu several times. If Yang Hanwu was still alive, he wouldn't let him go. Yeah, big brother, hurry up and kill him. Sun Jie shouted. Only Lin Pashan smiled bitterly. Only he knew that it was impossible to deal with Yang Hanwu now. The space-time jade was powerful, but it wasn't omnipotent. Now, he had used up a lot of energy, but Yang Hanwu's strength had increased instead of decreased. Yang Hanwu, who had activated the power of his past life, had become even stronger. Especially that kind of power, it was too overbearing and cruel. It wasn't something they could resist. Even the Emperor-level cultivators couldn't reach this level. He knew that even if he broke through the bottleneck and reached the Emperor level, he wouldn't be able to resist this power. It's useless. Lin Pashan said, we lost. He's too strong. Impossible, big brother. You clearly suppressed him. This is your trump card. How can it not defeat him? Duan Jiasin shouted crazily. Yeah, big brother, don't joke around. I don't want to die yet. Sun Jie said. The three of them looked at Lin Pashan. Lin Pashan shook his head and said, I don't have any more energy left. His body contains a terrifying amount of energy. It should be the energy of his previous life. He is the reincarnation of a peerless cultivator. His original body is much stronger than the evil king. I'm afraid that the evil king was at his peak. He was no match for his past life. Although he hasn't completely awakened the power of his past life, he's still far from being someone we can handle. Hearing this, Duan Jiasin's face turned ashen. Sun Jie suddenly knelt down and shouted, I surrender. I'm willing to submit to you and be your dog. Chapter 1589. Yang Hanwu grasped a portion of the power and broke through as well. His strength surged instead of regressing after reaching the 6th level of the Divine Lord realm. At this moment, Yang Hanwu felt that he was truly an invincible being. No one was a match for him. As long as he willed it, he could destroy this entire world with ease. In fact, Yang Hanwu was strong, but only for a short period of time. Yang Hanwu knew that this wasn't his own power, so it couldn't last long. Beg for mercy? Yang Hanwu sneered. Sorry, I don't need it. After saying that, Yang Hanwu grabbed out with his hand, instantly crushing the two cultivators' bodies. Even their souls were shattered, turning into pure energy that was devoured and refined by Yang Hanwu's devouring furnace. Your turn, Yang Hanwu said to Lin Pashan. Do it. Lin Pashan looked at Yang Hanwu. His face was expressionless, neither happy nor sad. You're not going to beg? Yang Hanwu looked at him with interest and said, Maybe if you beg for mercy, I will let you live. I've lived long enough. Lin Pashan said, Death is a release for me. Then I'll fulfill your wish. Yang Hanwu was about to attack. Wait, Lin Pashan said, just as Yang Hanwu was about to attack. What? Are you going to beg for mercy? Yang Hongwu smiled. Lin Pasan blushed. He didn't want to die. In fact, he thought Yang Hongwu would spare him since he would rather die than submit. Who would have thought that Yang Hongwu would attack right away? I'll give you this jade if you let me live, Lin Pasan said. In the end, no one was willing to die. Lin Pasan was no exception. His ambition was great. It was just that he wasn't strong enough. If it wasn't for his lack of strength, how could he submit to Wang Li? No need. You've made your choice, so I'll fulfill your wish. Yang Hongwu shook his head. With that said, Yang Hongwu did not hesitate at all. He condensed his magic power into a palm and struck out with a finger. Jingshin Finger. The Jingshin Finger was unstoppable, capable of slaying gods and devils. It was boundlessly domineering. Its terrifying power pierced through the void, almost shattering the world of nothingness. Lin Pasan didn't even get to finish before his body turned into nothingness. His soul dissipated along with him. After Yang Hongwu finished doing all this, he felt a sense of emptiness. His strength had been exhausted, and only his own strength was left. However, even so, Yang Hongwu was still very happy. His current cultivation had already reached the 6th level of the Divine Lord realm. It was already very good. His current cultivation speed was indeed astonishing. In such a short period of time, he had already reached the 6th level of the Divine Monarch realm. Perhaps, after he became the master of this space, he would be able to reach the half-step Divine Emperor realm or even break through the half-step Divine Emperor realm. Maybe he would be able to break through the shackles of the Divine Emperor realm and become a true Divine Emperor realm expert. Of course, it was just a thought. He didn't know how long it would take for him to break through. Master! He-Yong was trembling with fear. If he hadn't been with Yang Hongwu, he would have ended up like Lin Pasan and the others. Yang Hongwu had been suppressed, and he thought that he was dead for sure. Who would have thought that Yang Hongwu would be able to defeat him so quickly? Yang Hongwu suddenly exploded with power and turned Lin Pasan and the others into mincemeat. His tyrannical power was boundless. It was simply too awesome. He now knew how terrifying his master's strength was. It was not as simple as he had imagined. It turned out that his master didn't have a strong background. He himself was extremely terrifying. He was the reincarnation of a peerless, almighty cultivator. Moreover, he was even stronger than the evil monarch realm. Once he regained his strength, he would be an invincible existence. He would be one of the strongest cultivators in the universe. It was his honor to be able to follow such a strong cultivator and become his servant. In fact, it was almost impossible for him to break through the bottleneck of the half-step Divine Emperor realm. However, he had become Yang Hongwu's servant, and now he had the chance to break through. Hope! He was pleasantly surprised. Who didn't want to break through the bottleneck and reach a higher level? To any cultivator, exploring the supreme Great Tao was something they could not refuse, even if they were to become servants. Very good. Yang Hongwu looked at He-Yong and said, I said that I won't mistreat you. I'll give you these treasures. Yang Hongwu took out the treasures of the half-step Divine Emperors and gave them to He-Yong. These treasures were not rare for Yang Hongwu, so it was good to give them to He-Yong. Thank you, Master. All right, don't kowtow. Yang Hongwu said, I don't need a kowtow worm. Yes, Master. He-Yong was very happy. Even though he had a good weapon, it was still inferior to these treasures. This time, he was the weakest among the people who entered this world. He was also the only one who had one treasure. The others all had more than two. Tell me, what are you looking for in this world? How did you find this world? Yang Hongwu asked, replying to Master, the imprint of this world is the coordinates given to us by the evil monarch Wang Li. As for coming here, one is to help the incarnation of the evil monarch Wang Li fend off the demon monarch Wang Yuan. The other is to find a treasure. What treasure? Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes and asked. I don't know. He-Yong shook his head and said, only Lin Pasan knows. However, Lin Pasan has been killed by Master. He turned into ashes. Not even his soul was left behind. Yang Hongwu frowned after hearing He-Yong's words. Seeing Yang Hongwu's unhappy expression, He-Yong jumped in fright and hurriedly said, however, Master doesn't have to worry. When we came to this world, evil monarch Wang Li gave each of us an item that can be used to search for that treasure. What is it? Take out. Yang Hongwu said. It's this. He-Yong took out an item that looked like a compass. Chapter 1590. This was given to us by evil monarch Wang Li. This treasure can help us find the location of that treasure. He-Yong said, the treasure that evil monarch Wang Li asked us to find is in there. However, it is very dangerous. Although there's no evil qi, Gu Weihua was killed when he entered. Don't worry, I won't let you go in there. Yang Hongwu looked at He-Yong and saw that his face was filled with fear. He knew what He-Yong was thinking. Indeed, that place was too dangerous. People who went and died mysteriously. One should know that Gu Weihua was a half-step divine emperor. He-Yong was a half-step divine emperor. He died so easily. It was enough to see how dangerous it was. Master, if you want me to go in there, I won't hesitate even if I have to die. Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, He-Yong thought that Yang Hongwu was suspicious of him, so he immediately expressed his loyalty. Yang Hongwu couldn't be clearer about what He-Yong was thinking. He shook his head and said, Don't worry, I won't let you die. I won't let you go in there before I figure it out. Then, Yang Hongwu turned around and spread his divine sense in all directions. Soon, Yang Hongwu found a strange beast. After catching the exotic beast, Yang Hongwu tossed it into the space he was looking for. Just like Gu Weihua, the strange beast's physical body dissipated and its soul vanished as soon as it went in. However, when Yang Hongwu threw some inanimate objects, such as stones, there was no change. Master, what should we do? This place is too strange. Any living thing that goes in there will die. Their life force will be taken away, and their soul will be destroyed. It's too scary. Furthermore, that item is in here. How can we obtain that treasure? This is simply too difficult. He-Yong said, Let me think about it. Yang Hongwu wanted to use a puppet to go in there, but it was useless. Yang Hongwu found that as long as something with energy went in, it would be dissolved. Even a spiritual stone would be devoured. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes after a careful observation. Finally, he found a clue. This is a sealing array formation. I don't know what's sealed inside, Yang Hongwu said. Seal? Master, you're not joking, right? There's no trace of seal here at all. He-Yong said, It's normal that you can't tell. Yang Hongwu said, If you could see it, you wouldn't be at this level now. You would have become a real divine emperor. Even Lin Pashan couldn't see it. This sealing formation is very mysterious and advanced, isn't it? Ordinary people wouldn't be able to see through it unless they had extremely high attainments in formations and restrictions, or if they had powerful eye techniques. Master, what's sealed in this seal? He-Yong asked. He was very curious about what was in the seal. Of course, he was also very interested in the treasure that the evil monarch Wang Li wanted to obtain. To be able to make the evil monarch Wang Li pay so much attention to him, that must be it. This treasure was definitely not ordinary. I don't know what's sealed in it. We need to break this formation to find out. Yang Hongwu said, You step back first. I'll try to break this seal. This formation was very mysterious. Even Yang Hongwu couldn't see through it completely. Was it because of the formation that it could devour all objects with energy in that space? Or was it because of the things sealed in the formation? No matter what, Yang Hongwu needed to be very careful. This Tsongshan continent wasn't as simple as he thought. Although it looked like a low-level world, it contained a lot of secrets. He-Yong nodded and stepped back. Yang Hongwu took out several pills. These pills were not ordinary pills. They were used to break the formation and the restriction-breaking pills. Open for me. After Yang Hongwu made a series of hand seals, the formation instantly emitted rays of light. The formation constantly fluctuated as if it was about to be torn apart. Inside the formation, a tyrannical power burst out. This power shocked Yang Hongwu to the core. This was definitely not an ordinary existence. Yang Hongwu even felt that the power in the seal was not weaker than the evil monarch Wang Li and the demon king Wang Yuan. This made Yang Hongwu hesitate. He stopped thinking about breaking the formation. He frowned. The moment Yang Hongwu tore a crack in the formation, Yang Hongwu felt the aura of the Tsangshan continent's Great Seal. It was in the seal. However, there was another overbearing aura in the seal that made Yang Hongwu very afraid. Once the seal was broken, it would be unknown whether the owner of the overbearing aura in the seal was a friend or a foe. Moreover, Yang Hongwu did not have enough confidence to deal with such a terrifying expert. When he dealt with Wang Li and Wang Yuan's incarnation, it was because they were in his sea of consciousness. The guy in the seal would not give him such an opportunity like Wang Li and Wang Yuan. Therefore, after feeling such a strong and overbearing aura, Yang Hongwu did not hesitate. He stopped his actions and restored the seal to its original state. "Master, how is it? There's a terrifying guy sealed inside," Yang Hongwu said. "He is very strong. Master, can't you deal with him?" Hyung looked at Yang Hongwu and asked. In his mind, Yang Hongwu was incomparably powerful and even invincible. Lin Pasan could easily kill him. The evil monarch's incarnation could also be killed. Who could stop him? This was only a low-level plane. In this low-level plane, who could contend with Yang Hongwu? It was basically impossible. Of course, this space was indeed very strange. In this ominous land, there were also ancient fierce beasts like the evil devouring beast. It would not be surprising if other terrifying fellows appeared. Even so, Hyun did not think that there was anyone in this low-level plane who could resist Yang Hongwu. "I don't know." Yang Hongwu shook his head. "The other party's aura is very terrifying and powerful. I'm not confident." Chapter 1591. "But Master, didn't you say that you don't have the confidence to deal with the other party?" Hyung said, "Why don't we wait for Master to find a way to deal with that guy?" "No, I don't have that much time." Yang Hongwu felt a throbbing. This throbbing meant that something was about to happen. Therefore, Yang Hongwu didn't want to wait any longer. He had to find a way to obtain the fragment of the common people's Great Seal. No matter what kind of existence was in the seal, he had to kill it and take back the fragment of the common people's Great Seal. Take control of the common people's continent, find the girls, then go to the deity domain. Similarly, find the source of the deity domain and take control of the deity domain. Hearing Yang Hongwu's words, Hyung didn't speak anymore. He was a smart person. He knew that Yang Hongwu had already made up his mind. If he said anything more, he was afraid that Yang Hongwu would kill him first. "You wait here. I'll go and take a look," Yang Hongwu said. "Master, no, it's too dangerous." Hearing this, Hyung was shocked and hurriedly stopped him. What a joke. His life was now in the hands of Yang Hongwu. Now Yang Hongwu wanted to go in and take a risk. If Yang Hongwu died, he would also die. He didn't want to die. Therefore, if Yang Hongwu wanted to go in, he had to find a way to stop him. However, how could Yang Hongwu agree? "Do you want to go with me?" Yang Hongwu turned his head and coldly looked at Hyung. "Master." Hyung opened his mouth but didn't know what to say. Of course, he didn't want to go. "Remember, I am the master. You have no right to reject my decisions and my words. You only need to carry out my orders. Otherwise, you will die." Yang Hongwu's words were filled with terrifying killing intent. A servant dared to question his words and even wanted to stop him. Stopping him was something that Yang Hongwu couldn't tolerate. After that, Yang Hongwu didn't care about Hyung anymore. He turned around and walked towards that space. After a few breaths, Yang Hongwu walked into the space. After entering, Yang Hongwu felt a domineering force enter his body. It wanted to devour his body and even his soul. However, Yang Hongwu was prepared. He activated his cultivation method and used the creation chi to protect his body, isolating the force outside. Hyung watched from afar as Yang Hongwu walked into the space of death. He was scared out of his wits, but seeing that Yang Hongwu was fine, he was relieved. As expected of his master, he was incomparably powerful. Fortune Divine Tree, Devour. This invisible force was very strange. However, the sacred tree of creation was a supreme sacred tree. It could refine and absorb all kinds of energy to replenish its own energy and convert it into creation chi. Yang Hongwu used the power of the divine tree of creation to try and devour this strange power. Step by step, Yang Hongwu continued to advance. After a dozen breaths, Yang Hongwu arrived at a special space. He saw a tall pagoda. This tall pagoda was the foundation that sealed that terrifying existence. It was also the core of this sealing formation. "Little guy, you're here," a voice said. Yang Hongwu looked in the direction of the voice and saw a skinny old man sitting there. He looked as if he had reached the end of his life. However, Yang Hongwu knew that this person was the terrifying expert that was sealed. Although this person looked like a lamp that had run out of oil, he was extremely terrifying. He was an unparalleled expert. At his peak, he was probably not inferior to the evil monarch Wang Li at his peak. "Who are you? Who am I?" the skinny old man asked. "How many years has it been? I don't remember my name." "You can call me Life and Death Old Man," the old man said. "Life and Death Old Man?" Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. "Little guy, you're not bad. You can actually resist the power of the law of death." "Very good." The skinny old man looked at Yang Hongwu and praised him. "Senior, you're overpraising me," Yang Hongwu said. "Why are you here?" the skinny old man asked. "Treasure? Cultivation technique? Or something else?" Yang Hongwu was getting more and more curious. Who was this guy? Logically speaking, this was the space of the Great Life Seal. Although the Great Life Seal had been shattered, this was only the inner world of the Great Life Seal fragment. However, such a terrifying expert was sealed here. This made Yang Hongwu very curious. Under normal circumstances, such a terrifying expert should be able to break this world with his strength. However, he didn't and was sealed here. Such a sealing formation was really strange and very powerful. The person who set up such a sealing formation was far more powerful than Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu's attainments and formations were definitely top-notch. However, he couldn't deny it. He refused to admit that the power of such a sealing formation was beyond his capabilities. At the very least, he was absolutely unable to do so at his current level. As for breaking the formation, he could. However, even with heaven-defying medicinal pills like the formation-breaking pill and the restriction-breaking pill, it wouldn't be easy for Yang Hongwu to break the formation. After breaking the formation, the consumption would be huge. "Treasure," Yang Hongwu said. "Oh, I still have a few treasures on me. Now that I'm like a lamp that has run out of oil, it's meaningless to keep the treasures on me. It's not impossible for me to give them to you," the skinny old man said. "Senior, you must be joking. How can you say that you're like a lamp that has run out of oil? With your strength, it's easy for you to break the seal. I think you just don't want to leave this place," Yang Hongwu said with a smile. "You don't have to flatter me. Who wants to be trapped here? Who wants to be constantly drained of energy and consumed of origin? If I could really break the seal, I would have left long ago. How would I end up like this?" the skinny old man said. "Little guy, your talent is extraordinary. Moreover, it's fate that we appeared here before I completely fell. I'll give these things to you." After saying that, the skinny old man waved his hand and 3 rays of light flew towards Yang Hongwu. These rays of light contained a powerful aura. Yang Hongwu saw clearly that these 3 rays of light were 3 treasures. These 3 treasures weren't ordinary treasures. Each of them was comparable to the Destruction Sky Palace. Not simple. Really not simple. Anyone would be tempted. Yang Hongwu was the same. He had to admit that these 3 treasures were really tempting. However, Yang Hongwu resisted and didn't accept them. Chapter 1592. When the skinny old man saw that Yang Hongwu had rejected him, his face darkened. He looked at Yang Hongwu and said coldly, "Boy, how dare you reject my good intentions?" "What? Senior, are you going to use force?" Yang Hongwu looked at the skinny old man and said coldly, "Senior, although your strength is strong, you are sealed here now. I'm afraid you can't use it, right? Boy, are you provoking me?" When the skinny old man heard this, his face darkened and a powerful aura burst out. Although he was sealed, there was no doubt that the skinny old man's strength was very strong. If it was another person with such a domineering aura, they would probably be unable to breathe. However, Yang Hongwu was not another person. Although the domineering aura was terrifying, it had no effect on Yang Hongwu. For Yang Hongwu, the suppression of aura was completely ineffective. Although his cultivation was only at the 6th level of the divine monarch realm, Even the pressure of the Emperor's peak aura had no effect on Yang Hongwu. Boy, you are really not simple. After a while, the skinny old man saw that his aura had no effect on Yang Hongwu and said, "This young man was not simple. Otherwise, he would not have been able to enter this place without being devoured by the power of this formation." However, even so, the strength that Yang Hongwu had displayed still shocked him. This boy might really be able to help him. Originally, the skinny old man wanted to use a part of his primordial spirit to seize Yang Hongwu's body when Yang Hongwu refined the treasures he had given him. However, Yang Hongwu did not fall for his trick. The skinny old man could not do anything about it. As for getting someone to save him, he had never thought of this. How powerful was the person who sealed him here? This sealing formation was incomparably tyrannical. Not only that, this place was the inner world of that person. Once the seal was broken, it would attract the attention of that person. Hence, the possibility of him escaping was simply too small. "Boy, I think you came here to look for something, right?" "That's right." Yang Hongwu did not deny it. He had already said it before. "What are you looking for? Tell me. I may be able to help you." The skinny old man said with a pleasant expression, "Senior, you don't plan to take action against me?" Yang Hongwu would not believe this old man. Obviously, this old man was not a good person. Otherwise, he would not be sealed here. Moreover, he was planning to take action against him. If it was not for Yang Hongwu's vigilance, he would have already taken action. However, due to the seal, there was no way he could attack Yang Hongwu. This old thing would definitely not show any mercy. It could be clearly seen from the aura he had just released. Now, Yang Hongwu was curious about the origin of this old man. In addition, he was wondering how he could obtain the fragment of the common people's great seal and the origin of the common people's continent. As long as he obtained the fragment of the common people's great seal and the origin of the common people's continent, this world would be under his control. No matter how strong this person was, in his own inner world, he was sealed by a powerful formation. It was absolutely impossible for him to play any tricks. "What are you talking about, little brother? Why would I take action against you?" The skinny old man said with a smile. His face was amiable. If one did not know, they would be deceived. Sure enough, the older they get, the more shameless they become. Yang Hongwu thought in his heart, this kind of person was the most terrifying. This old man looked like a lamp that had run out of oil. However, he was incomparably powerful. It was just that his cultivation was suppressed and his strength was sealed. There was no way for him to release it. "Little brother, you are a talented man with outstanding talent. In the future, you will definitely become a peerless expert and control a part of the universe." The skinny old man said, "Well, old man, don't talk nonsense. Although I don't know who you are, it is true that you wanted to take action against me. However, your strength is sealed and you have no way to deal with me." Yang Hongwu waved his hand and said to the skinny old man, "I am indeed here to find a treasure. In order to find a treasure, this treasure was sealed in this pagoda along with you." "Little brother, what are you looking for?" "There are a lot of things in this pagoda. I also have a lot of treasures with me. For example, the 3 treasures just now are supreme treasures. If you can obtain them, you can use them to suppress divine emperor experts." "Little brother, you're only a divine monarch expert now. However, you're still not strong enough to deal with divine emperor experts. If you can obtain any of my 3 treasures, it will be enough to make your strength rise to another level. It will be easy for you to deal with divine emperor experts." The skinny old man continued to boast. "No need. Although your treasures are good, they are not fated to be with me." Yang Hongwu shook his head. The old man's words could not be trusted. Although the treasures were good and powerful, Yang Hongwu knew that the old man must have a plan. Although Yang Hongwu was not afraid, he did not have much time. He did not want to be entangled with the old man for the time being. Finding the fragment of the Life Great Seal was the most important thing. Yang Hongwu thought for a while and activated his cultivation technique. He activated the origin energy of his inner world. As soon as the origin energy was activated, Yang Hongwu felt a special aura. Although this aura was very weak because of the seal, Yang Hongwu still felt it. "Tower Pearl, I did not expect it to be the Tower Pearl. Yang Hongwu sensed that the source of the aura was coming from a tower bead at the top of the tower. After discovering this, Yang Hongwu was pleasantly surprised, but then his brows furrowed tightly. The pagoda pearl was the core of the seal. If he wanted to obtain the Tower Pearl, it was equivalent to destroying the seal. If the seal was broken, the skinny old man would be released. Then it would be troublesome. The skinny old man was an unstable factor. If he was released, who knew what kind of terrible danger it would bring to the entire Tsangshan continent? Therefore, before he could replace the Tower Pearl as the core of the seal, Yang Hongwu would not take the risk to obtain the fragment of the Life Great Seal. The skinny old man saw Yang Hongwu's expression and smiled. So, little brother wants the Tower Pearl. Chapter 1593. Little brother, it's not that I'm looking down on you, but there's no way you can take this pagoda away. The skinny old man said, this pagoda was left behind by a supreme expert. Your strength is far from enough. How could Yang Hongwu not know the expression in the skinny old man's eyes? This old fellow was trying to goad him. In fact, Yang Hongwu knew very well that this old man really wanted to take the pagoda away. If he did that, the formation that was sealing him would lose its effect. That way, he would be able to take the pagoda. Then he would be free. Unfortunately, how could Yang Hongwu help him so easily? It was true that Yang Hongwu wanted to obtain this pagoda. Yang Hongwu was very clear that once he took this pagoda away, the formation would be broken. In that case, the old man would break out of the seal. Not to mention, Yang Hongwu didn't say anything. The person who set up the formation would not cause trouble. Even the old man would not let him go. Yang Hongwu was not a fool. Without a foolproof plan, Yang Hongwu would never be so foolish as to take the pagoda away and break the formation. Therefore, Yang Hongwu did not care about the skinny old man's goading. Senior, do you have a way? Yang Hongwu asked. However, if you want to take away this pagoda, it is not impossible. If you have my help, the success rate can reach 80%. The skinny old man said, however, you've seen my current situation. My cultivation has been sealed, so there's no way for me to use it. Therefore, if you want to take the pagoda, you need to let me recover some of my cultivation first. Only then can I help you. When Yang Hongwu heard that, he knew that the show was about to start. The old man could not hold back anymore. He wanted to see what the old man was going to do. Senior, your cultivation has been sealed? That's right. Little brother, I'm afraid you've already seen through it. This old man has been sealed here for countless years. If not for my cultivation being sealed, how could I have fallen to such a state? The emaciated old man said, if little brother helps me remove the seal, I won't just help little brother obtain this. This pagoda will also give little brother a huge surprise, an unexpected benefit. Senior, you think too highly of me. Even with Senior's cultivation and strength, you are still sealed here. What ability do I have to help Senior remove the seal? Yang Hongwu shook his head. No, little brother, you don't have to belittle yourself. Although your cultivation is not high enough, it is still impossible for you to break through this formation. However, you can still open a crack in the formation. That way, I can recover a portion of my cultivation. Although I can't completely remove the seal, I can still recover a portion of my cultivation and help you obtain the pagoda. The skinny old man looked at Yang Hongwu and said, if I'm not wrong, a crack appeared in the seal just now because of you, little brother. Therefore, therefore, I hope that little brother can help me. Even if you can't remove the seal, I will still give little brother some compensation. Senior, what do you want me to do? Yang Hongwu did not deny it. He looked at the emaciated old man and asked with interest. I hope that little brother can tear a crack in the formation like before. I only need 10 breaths of time to spare a portion of my strength. The emaciated old man said. A light flashed in Yang Hongwu's mind. This old man's strength was indeed terrifying. However, this formation was not simple. He could indeed open a small crack in the formation. However, it would be extremely difficult to truly break the formation. Of course, if Yang Hongwu could do it, he would be able to do it. It was still possible to break the formation by force, but it would cost a huge price. Perhaps he could really do as the old man said and tear a small crack in the formation. Of course, Yang Hongwu would not really let the old man out. He had other ideas. I can try. However, the price will be too great. Although I opened a crack earlier, it consumed a lot of my strength. In addition, I can't hold on for much longer while resisting the devouring and decomposing law power of this formation. Now, I have to stay here and try again. It's too difficult to tear a crack in the formation. Yang Hongwu shook his head. The emaciated old man looked at Yang Hongwu. He was an antique that had lived for countless years. He was an old fox. How could he not see that Yang Hongwu was pretending? Was he lying? However, the emaciated old man did not expose him. He knew that this brat wanted benefits. The emaciated old man sneered in his heart. When this old man comes out, the first one to die will be this greedy brat. Of course, I won't let you suffer a loss. I have a pill here. This is the 9 Revolutions Supreme Heaven Pill. This pill is very precious. It contains a majestic energy. It was refined from a stalk of Supreme Heaven Longevity Grass. This pill is enough to restore your strength and even increase your strength. Little brother's cultivation will reach another level. Yang Hongwu took the pill. This pill didn't have any restrictions on it. This surprised Yang Hongwu. This pill was indeed not an ordinary pill. Anyone below the divine emperor realm could break through a bottleneck in a small realm after taking this pill. Any injury could also be healed in a very short time. It could be said that this pill was a panacea. This old man took out such a pill in order to gain Yishuan's trust. As the saying goes, you can't trap a wolf without sacrificing a child. This old man was willing to pay the price. However, Yang Hongwu also knew that this old man definitely had a lot of treasures in his hands. This pill was just a drop in the ocean. Yang Hongwu would not take action if he did not get some benefits out of this old man. Moreover, the more greedy Yang Hongwu was, the more he would gain the old man's trust. The old man was scheming against him, but Yang Hongwu was also scheming against this old man. Senior, this pill is too precious. Yang Hongwu said, this pill is very precious, but it won't be of much help to me. I have an Emperor-level dragon pearl here. I obtained it after killing an Emperor-level true dragon. It's useless to me. I see that little brother's cultivation technique is related to dragons. This Emperor-level dragon pearl should be of some help to little brother. The emaciated old man took out another pill. Chapter 1594. Tycoon, truly a tycoon. Yang Hongwu had to admit that this old man was truly a tycoon. He could even casually take out an Emperor Grey Dragon Pearl. It seemed like he still had a lot of treasures on him. Looking at Yang Hongwu's appearance, the skinny old man couldn't help but curse in his heart. This little bastard is truly a greedy fellow. Little brother, this is something that I managed to save with great difficulty. In order to help little brother, I even brought out my trump card, the skinny old man hastily said, worried that Yang Hongwu would continue to ask for more. Cough, cough. Senior, it's not that I don't want to. Although this Emperor Grey Dragon Pearl is good, I can't refine it in a short time. Yang Hongwu wouldn't let go of such a good opportunity. If he didn't extort it, he would be letting himself down. The corners of the skinny old man's mouth twitched. This little bastard was simply a hungry wolf that couldn't be fed. However, if he didn't give it to him, he was afraid that this little bastard wouldn't be willing to help. If he didn't help, his scheme wouldn't succeed. The skinny old man secretly gritted his teeth. When he got out, he would definitely teach this little bastard a lesson. Moreover, he couldn't let him die. If he did, it would be too easy for him. No one had ever dared to extort his things. What else do you want? Senior, what do you mean by that? Do you think that I'm cheating you of your treasures? Yang Hongwu said with a serious expression. His face was filled with righteousness. The skinny old man was trembling with anger. This old man naturally doesn't mean that. The skinny old man suppressed the anger in his heart and said, however, since little brother wants to help me, I naturally can't let you suffer a loss. I have a praying mat here that is refined from the tree of enlightenment. With this praying mat, you can speed up the refining process of the Dragon Pearl. In order to speed up little brother's refining of the Dragon Pearl, and there won't be any side effects. I hope it can help little brother. When Yang Hongwu heard about the Enlightenment futon, he felt that it was a rare treasure. It was definitely much more precious than an Emperor Grey Dragon Ball. An Emperor Grey Dragon Ball was equivalent to a special divine source stone. As long as one had the strength, one could easily obtain it. However, the leaf of the divine tree of enlightenment was different. However, it would be different if it was refined into a praying mat. Something like that was not something that one could casually obtain. It was extremely precious. There was only one divine tree of comprehension, and no one could find it. Even a leaf of the divine tree of comprehension was extremely precious, let alone a futon made from a leaf from the divine tree of comprehension. A futon refined from a leaf of the divine tree of comprehension was more precious than a leaf of the divine tree of comprehension. This kind of thing could only be encountered and not sought. How could I accept that? Although Yang Hongwu said this, his hands weren't slow at all. In an instant, he took the enlightenment praying mat. His speed was so fast that it left people speechless. The skinny old man's heart was bleeding. He had never used the enlightenment praying mat before. When he first obtained the enlightenment praying mat, it was sealed here and he didn't have time to use it. Now it was taken away by Yang Hongwu, that little bastard. How could he not be depressed? However, this was only temporary. After he got out, he would immediately take care of that little bastard. At that time, whether it was the 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill, the Emperor-level Dragon Ball, or the Enlightenment Praying Mat, they would all be snatched back. Even the treasures on him would be taken away. Yang Hongwu could guess what the skinny old man was thinking. If it were him, he wouldn't feel comfortable being extorted like this. Therefore, Yang Hongwu didn't care about the skinny old man's thoughts at all. It's nothing. I hope that these things of mine will be helpful to little brother. Yes, it's very helpful. Yang Hongwu said, "Thank you, senior. With these things, my cultivation should be able to break through and enter the 7th level Divine Lord realm." The skinny old man's mouth twitched. 7th level Divine Lord realm. If it was anyone else, they would be able to break through the bottleneck of the Divine Lord realm and enter the half-step Divine Emperor realm in a short time. If their aptitude wasn't bad, they could even break through the bottleneck of the half-step Divine Emperor realm and enter the Divine Emperor realm directly. One must know that those 3 items were all incomparably precious. It's good that it's helpful. Although the skinny old man was extremely depressed in his heart, he still said, "Little brother, you should recover well and help me tear open a crack. That way, I can also help you seize this pagoda." All right. Yang Hongwu nodded. He didn't mind and sat down cross-legged in front of the skinny old man. Of course, he sat down on the enlightenment praying mat. He swallowed a pill. This pill was naturally the 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill. Yang Hongwu had studied the 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill thoroughly. After all, Yang Hongwu was a powerful alchemist. Yang Hongwu knew the recipe of a 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill in an instant. As long as there were enough materials, Yang Hongwu could easily refine such a pill. However, Yang Hongwu used the creation chi to refine the creation pill. It wasn't inferior to the 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill at all. It was just that there wasn't enough creation chi. Although the creation sacred tree could devour the energy in the void and convert it into creation chi and then condense it into creation pills, the amount of creation chi that the creation sacred tree could devour was too little. It would take too long to obtain a creation pill that had the same effect as the 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill. Yang Hongwu had devoured and refined the 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill, but Yang Hongwu had kept the Royal Dragon Pearl for Lu Li to use. To Yang Hongwu, a Royal Dragon Pearl wasn't of much use. It was better to help Lu Li increase his strength. As for the 9 Revolutions Heaven Pill, it could allow Yang Hongwu's cultivation to rise to the next level in a short period of time and reach the 7th level Divine Lord realm. This was naturally possible. To Yang Hongwu, the stronger one's cultivation was, the stronger one's combat strength would be. Moreover, the skinny old man in front of him wasn't that simple. When he tore open the seal array later, although it would only be a crack, he still had to be prepared. If he wasn't careful and failed miserably, the gains wouldn't make up for the losses. Yang Hongwu didn't wish to encounter such a situation. This kid's aptitude is really not bad. The skinny old man's eyes flickered as he looked at Yang Hongwu. He had to admit that Yang Hongwu's aptitude was definitely not inferior to his. In fact, Yang Hongwu was even stronger than him when he was young. How could the skinny old man's eyesight be so simple? Chapter 1595. After Yang Hongwu consumed the elixir, he entered a mysterious state. His soul seemed to have entered an incomparably mysterious space. There were countless power of law, the supreme law of the great Tao. Yang Hongwu's soul was also sublimated. His cultivation base also increased. 7th layer, Divine Lord. In a short time, Yang Hongwu's cultivation base increased by a level. Deluge of heavenly flowers? How is this possible? How can there be a deluge of heavenly flowers here? The sudden change made the withered old man's eyes widen. This place was meant to seal him. It isolated everything, including the Great Path. It could be said that once one entered this formation, it was equivalent to entering a completely sealed space. Even the power of the Great Path could not enter this place. So how could there be any extravagant feelings? What was going on? The withered old man could not believe what he was seeing. This change was too shocking. Could it be that there's a change in the law and the seal is broken? The withered old man was pleasantly surprised. However, when he checked, he smiled bitterly. There was still no change in the formation. This space was still sealed. His power and divine sense could not extend out at all. The entire formation was even more sealed and secure than before. However, when Yang Hongwu broke through to the 7th layer Divine Lord, there was a deluge of heavenly flowers. This was what shocked him the most. A deluge of heavenly flowers would only happen when a peerless genius, a son of fortune with exceptional talent, broke through. Moreover, it would only happen when they broke through a major realm. This kid had only broken through from the 6th layer Divine Lord to the 7th layer Divine Lord. How could there be a deluge of heavenly flowers? It was all so strange and illogical. In addition, this space was completely sealed off. It was impossible for a scene like a deluge of flowers to appear. However, this impossible situation happened. The withered old man was confused. The praying mat. Could it be because of the enlightenment praying mat? There was no other explanation. The withered old man thought of the enlightenment praying mat. As for the extreme celestial pill, although it was good and precious, it definitely wouldn't cause the user to be in such a state. The enlightenment praying mat was the only thing he hadn't used. He could feel that Yang Hongwu's soul had made a huge breakthrough. It was more than twice as strong as before. It was very difficult for a person's soul or divine soul to improve every time. Yang Hongwu had only broken through a small realm, but his soul strength had more than doubled compared to before. Such a situation was unprecedented, unless he broke through a large realm. For example, to enter the Divine Lord realm from the Grand Unity True God realm, or from the Divine Lord realm to the Divine Emperor realm, one had to break through a huge bottleneck. Only then could there be such a huge leap in strength. When Yang Hongwu opened his eyes, the aura of the enlightenment praying mat had become much weaker. Seeing this, the skinny old man was even more certain that it was because of the enlightenment prayer mat that Yang Hongwu was able to break through a minor realm like a deluge of heavenly flowers. Regret. The skinny old man was filled with regret. He didn't expect the enlightenment praying mat to be so much more precious than he had imagined. An enlightenment praying mat, the special power of the Great Path Law, had obviously been absorbed by Yang Hongwu. This special aura was extremely helpful to people at their level. Now, even if he snatched the enlightenment praying mat back, he would lose the special power of the Great Path Law in the praying mat. There were some things that could only be used once. The most precious thing in the enlightenment praying mat was probably the special power of the Great Path Law contained in the praying mat. Now that the special power of the Great Path Law had disappeared, it had been swallowed and refined by Yang Hongwu. Even if he got the praying mat back, he wouldn't be able to get the power of the Great Path Law. How could he not be depressed? Yang Hongwu opened his eyes. A ray of light instantly shot out from his eyes. It was like a meteor piercing through the void. It was extremely overbearing. Yang Hongwu opened his eyes and felt comfortable all over. Although his cultivation had only broken through a small realm, Yang Hongwu knew that his strength had improved a lot. Compared to before, the benefits of breaking through a small realm were much greater. Yang Hongwu knew that this was probably because of the enlightenment praying mat. This was because he had never had such a feeling when he broke through in the past. This time, his state of mind and the power of his soul had improved a lot compared to before. Congratulations, little brother. Your cultivation has improved a lot. The skinny old man couldn't help but say, Haha, this is all thanks to Senior's help. If it weren't for Senior's elixir and the enlightenment praying mat that Senior gave me, my cultivation wouldn't have recovered so easily. Moreover, it would have gone to the next level and broken through the original realm. Yang Hongwu laughed. He was really happy and didn't hide it all. This old man was really a child of wealth. Looking at the skinny old man, Yang Hongwu looked as if he was looking at a supreme delicacy. This old man still had a lot of value. No, this is all due to little brother's own efforts. This old man just did it casually. Even without my elixir and praying mat, little brother's breakthrough was only a matter of time. It wouldn't take much time. The skinny old man said against his will. At this time, his heart was bleeding. A supreme treasure that was of great help to him and could directly help him break through the realm was given to Yang Hongwu by him. Moreover, it was refined by Yang Hongwu. How could the skinny old man not be depressed? More importantly, he couldn't say it out loud. Come, if those old guys knew about it, he would probably be laughed to death. Anyway, I still have to thank Senior. Yang Hongwu said, Senior, please step back a little. Now that my cultivation has recovered and my strength has broken through, it shouldn't be a problem to tear open a crack and let Senior's incarnation out. Okay, I'll have to trouble you. The skinny old man's eyes lit up when he heard this. He hurriedly stepped back and made space for Yang Hongwu. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.